Starting the stream. Let's wait for good old OBS to let us know. I see the gaming perspective in there. Lucas Love in there. I see lights. Says starting on my side. Says live on my side. And we are live. Welcome to the Iron Lords Podcast and the Lords of Gaming.net, episode number 144. And it's another glorious Sunday. We're back at the round table on the Lord's Day. I'm very excited about it. Why are you breathing so hard in the back?
Man, I'm still sick. All right.
Okay, that's the sick breath. That's the coronavirus breath. And I'm very excited.
Why is everything the coronavirus with you right now?
Because it sounds funnier that way. I'm very excited about our special guest. And we've got Switch and Xbox earning reports, remote play coming to Switch, and the impact of Jedi Fallen Order to discuss. So we're going to get right into it. Wow. JD Gamer, thank you, brother. $5 super chat. Super chats works. Have a great podcast, fellas, and hit that like button. Wow. Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate it.
My man, JD, we ain't going to have you for the rest of the day, brother.
I know. It sounds like he's leaving. What's going on? Let's get to these intros, man. I want to introduce a Lord of Legality, whom the Lords are not only proud to call a friend to the realm, but always provides the most informative yet analytical takes on today's gaming and pop culture. Introducing the creator host of Virtual Legality, Two Hoegs Are Better Than One, and the HoegLaw YouTube channel.
Is that what the actual show's called? It's Two Hoegs Are Better Than One?
It's hot.
You're darn right it is.
Yeah, him and his brother. The newest member of the 7K subscriber club. And the only Lord with the audacity to rank Mass Effect 2 as the lowest entry in the BioWare series. Live from Michigan and making his return into the realm of the Lords, my man, Lord Richard Hoeg. How you doing, sir?
I'm great. Happy Super Bowl Sunday. It was a good time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot to take in from that introduction. You know, I only come on this show for the intro at this point. It's, yeah, I'm going to have to answer to some folks about the Mass Effect 2 thing. Yes. We've talked about that on Twitter at length. But yeah, you know, one thing I want to say is, you know, I've been doing these, making brief appearances with you guys as a fantastic show.
Thank you, sir.
This is, I don't know, 4 or 5 for me, maybe 6.
Yeah.
And you guys invited me on when I had whatever.
I think I'm about 6'2", 6. Somewhere around there, man.
Yeah. Well, LordCognito invited me on when I had, I don't know, 800 subscribers. Yeah. And, you know, I'd like to say he's always been very supportive. The Iron Lords have always been very supportive of Virtual Legality and HoegLaw. And yeah, we have 7,500 subscribers now. And it feels pretty good. We're having good conversations.
Awesome.
We're, you know, offending basically everyone and all political stripes at all times. So I think we're doing good work.
Oh, dude, let me tell you, man, it is so cool to see your growth because, like you said, I mean, I remember when you first, you know, kind of got not to say first started, but early in the game. And
yeah, absolutely.
I'm just like, man, Hoeg is a beast. If people get to see his talent, it's only a matter of time. So I can calmly say, I saw it.
Honestly, God, you and I were talking on Twitter really at the start of it. And I just wanted to say I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to a good conversation today. But yeah, it's really nice to see some of those folks have stuck with us for now a year and a month for that channel. And it's been a lot of fun so far.
That's awesome, man. Real quickly, what have you been playing lately, sir?
I've been playing the practice of law for the most part. It's been a very, very busy January for HoegLaw, which is good news for keeping the lights on and the family fed. But outside of that, I've been mostly playing on my Nintendo Switch. So I've been diving back into...
Look at Cognito acting like he plays the Switch right now.
I've been diving back into Fire Emblem. After they announced after they announced the expansion, I said, oh, you know, I really should try a different house. So I'm now the head of the Blue Lions, and we're going through it again on hard because I'm not big enough for Madden.
He ain't picked that up in like 6 months.
Don't pay Cognito no mind. He just out here.
Listen, man, that's awesome. Oh wow, JD Gamer, thank you, brother. Chilling, $20 super chat, chilling with the lady. Then Super Bowl for me, fellas. We'll catch you all later. Remember to hit that like button. That's much appreciated.
Super Bowl is today, isn't it?
Yeah, Super Bowl. The Friday night football.
I thought it was on a Friday.
We thought it was Friday night Super Bowl.
Wow, King. Look what we got in the round, man. Tempest son.
Oh, my man, just join. You hit that join button.
He's got the little jester emoji now. Oh,
join button.
Salute, Tempest.
For all the members in there, put some ILP emblems in that chat to celebrate our Gold Lord.
Yeah, Gold
Is
Lord.
that how we're saying it? Gold Lord?
Yeah, Lord of Gold, man. Salute, salute. I think
Gold.
actually that might be the new icon. I think is that the no? That's a brand new one. Yeah, that's brand new. I thought that was the Squire, but that's not the Squire. That's actually the initial one. So that's cool. Good salute to the realm for having that. So let's get this going. Unfortunately, y'all, Nintendo Guru, but please send your thoughts, your prayers to him, man. He messaged me this morning from the ER. He is not doing well. He had all intention of coming on today. He was ready to go to war with King. He told me, he's like, King is not going to be ready for the Switch slander.
And then I slid the coronavirus.
Oh, my God.
And your man is under the ropes.
Oh,
Look,
my
King,
bad.
what we do on our personal time is none of their business, all right? If we try to silence Goro, it's our business, not theirs.
Guru, they definitely try to slip something in your tea.
What I did was I gave him one of those spike Funko Pops. He could resist. He opened the bag and it was like, poof.
Oh, that's what you did? I shot him with one of those little blow dart things that had the virus in it.
That was you.
All
I
jokes
knew
aside,
got him before me.
please send your well wishes to Nintendo Guru. Like I said, get him on the road to recovery. We miss our brother. It would have been a spicier one if he was here, no doubt. And we definitely send our thoughts and hope he gets back on the men. And also, no four horsemen, another downer horseman. Lord Sav working the clock. The Iron Bank definitely, working really hard. So he said he couldn't make it today, but hopefully our brother will be back. We'll do the page.
He's the one I send on the mission to get Nintendo Guru.
Oh, my. We're doing assassination. We're doing hits.
Assassination.
See, now we just implied another person in this. Like, what are you doing?
Oh, hold on 1 second. Shout out to Lord Irrelevant Native. Baby Native has arrived this morning. Don't mean to detract from the ILP goodness, but I had this shit. Yo, shout out to my bro. That is what's up. The little one has arrived.
A big day.
That's a
That's
big
right.
day.
Bring him to E3 so he can understand that he can make it to E3 too, and Sony won't.
No,
Yay! Shout out to Baby Native.
Shout out to Relevant. Got a chance to meet that brother E3. Shout out to Stitch, already fearing the Switch talk. He's putting who did that for you. Everybody said congrats to Native. That is what's up.
Yes, congrats.
Anyway, so we got the three horsemen of gaming. Of course, we got my co-host, the co-most, my brother from another mother, the difficult game conqueror, Lord of Reviews, and the how of the young wolf. My man, Lord Addict. How you doing, sir?
I got, hold up. I got the camera on.
I'm impressed. You got your Rainbow Six gear on. We ready to go?
My what?
He got his burglar face.
I said you got your
My
Rainbow Six
burglar
gear on.
face.
You ready to go?
Okay. So I can't even put it. Okay, I got you.
No, I like it. I like it.
I got you. I got
You
you.
like the new DLC, the new operator I want to try.
Oh my god. Okay, that's enough of that, man. Let me push this button right here.
Oh, like come on.
Listen, I love it. I don't
we
care,
like
man.
it. We know
Bring
we
it
like
back.
it. We just bring it back. What's been going on, man? What you been playing, man?
So I've been playing. I actually haven't played the Switch at all this week. I was gonna play it yesterday. I went to turn it. I was gonna play it yesterday. I went to turn it on and it was dead. And I was like, "This is an issue for another day."
It's a sign from God.
Yeah. So I've been playing a lot of
What you been playing?
just Destiny 2 and Stardew Valley. I've been playing some of that too.
Oh, how's that?
It's a fun game. I got sent a code for PC simulator, building simulator.
Okay.
That's a different game than I thought it was. Like literally, you run like a shop that fixes PCs, so it's got like a little story in there somehow. It's a cool little thing. But it's been an interesting week. Because I don't feel like death either. So
well, that's good. You're in recovery. I'm telling everybody right now that flu is going around. It is real. Oh, shout out to our brother Elemental Pio with the $4 super chat. You guys always finish out my week well. So that's what's up, man. Elemental Pio, my man. Much love. So that's been it for Lord Addict. And of course, we have the incredible Hulk of this, AKA.
Just waiting for that Kingdom Hearts 3 on Xbox.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. AKA the XS Gamer.
Ooh.
The Lord of Combat Sports, King of the Statues, who demands nothing less than that premium experience. It is the leader of the Fraud Alert movement.
Ooh.
Beloved Lord King, how you doing, sir?
Oh boy, I'm doing fantastic. I miss you, Sovereign.
Yes.
Man, I was gonna go in on you today, pause.
I
But
need some, man.
and Guru, I'm sorry I put you down, baby. dig it? Can you dig it, baby? Do you smell what
it was
king's
necessary, though. It was necessary.
They tried to silence the switch talk.
There was too much positive switch talk to be.
Don't worry. We got hitters. We got hitters coming. Don't you worry, Guru. We got your back, baby.
Look, another challenger.
Look, man, I can handle Stealth40k. I can't handle Stealth40k, Cognito, Sovereign, and Guru. So some of them had to leave.
Listen.
All right.
We got it. Cavalry's arriving for y'all. Continue.
All right. Well, check this out. We had boxing, the Miami boxing on DAZN this weekend on Thursday instead of Saturday and Friday. DAZN is out of their mind. But it was one fight on that card. Around all those amateurs, you had really good fights fighting. And you had Joey Diaz versus Tevin Farmer. Tevin Farmer has been calling out Gervonta Tank Davis for over a year and a half. Well, he should have had his eyes focused on Joey Diaz because he was blinking and breathing hard and looking at that clock all night. Joey Diaz had a cut over his eye that was the size of a PlayStation 4 controller. It was just like this, and that man got that cut stopped. They stopped it. His cut man stopped the bleeding. It was huge though. It was wide open. It was disgusting to look at. But your man kept parrying, kept blocking shots going to the eye, and he beat Tevin Farmer with a gutty performance. So shout out to Joey Diaz. If you can see that fight, I'm gonna tell you right now, that is a fight of the year candidate to me. And Gervonta Tank Davis, like on cue, like the comedian he is, jumped on Twitter and said, "Stay in your lane, Farmer."
He had to check up. Shout out to Element Appeal. He's asking you, King. Will David be getting the Baby Yoda slideshow collectible? It just went on pre-order.
Oh, I already brought two of them. I already brought two of them. I posted it yesterday. You know, I get a little off every time I tweet out some stuff from Sideshow. Mr. Ainsley Bowden, my man already knew. I already sent him my confirmation pic with my order. I definitely had to get two Baby Yodas. Two Baby Yodas are inbound and they should be here by September.
I expect that to be back there rotating.
That Baby Yoda looks so incredible. Let me see if I can get a shot of it.
That Baby Yoda can handle that Venom back there if he wanted to.
I like that Venom. The Venom was amazing. Great job.
If y'all didn't go see the video of the Venom, I think y'all really need to go check that out.
Please check that out.
It's one of the look at that Baby Yoda. This is exactly how Baby Yoda looks, and he really looks like that in the show. It's the cutest thing in the whole galaxy.
In the galaxy.
I had to get two Baby Yodas. I think it's the most phenomenal thing. Sideshow is up.
Did you get two so they can have something to play with?
Oh my God.
Kids touch. You said my kids touch.
Oh, this ain't for the kids?
This is a statue. This is not a toys. These are not toys.
I see what they were parent you on.
Yeah, I'm not type of parent. I'm $350 stay away from my stuffed parents.
My God.
You see those steps? Do not come down those steps.
Kid, you're terrible. Kid, they cannot experience.
No, they cannot come down those steps. You got statues here that's $4,000 and statues that's $1,000. Stay away from my steps, my man.
Oh my God!
We can't see it, but King really got like lines. It's like if you bring me something downstairs, you stay on the line. You don't leave the line.
It's a moat. See, what y'all don't understand is a moat right there at the bottom of the steps with alligators. Come down the steps if you choose, please.
Where'd you order the alligators from?
Selfishly keeping his joys to himself.
That's right. Don't come down here. This is not. This is my eyes only. Like,
Disney says hashtag stay out of dad's room.
Right? Do you understand? Everybody needs this sanctuary. This is my sanctuary. And do you see that juggernaut? Could you imagine somebody come here and touch my juggernaut? Don't touch my juggernaut. Don't touch my juggernaut.
What have you been playing, sir?
Jedi Fallen Order. I have bent the knee, sir. I have purchased Jedi Fallen Order, and I am in utter love with this game. I'm doing every little tiny minutia in the game.
Have you fought any of the sisters yet?
No, what I'm doing is I fought if you call the girl a sister, the one that's the Sith Lord.
Well, they're actually, that's their names.
Yeah.
Okay, don't say anything to me. Leave me
Well,
alone.
you fight the first one in the first 15 minutes of the
Adam's
game.
been known
Yeah, I
to
did that
snitch
already, so stop
games on this.
Yeah, don't talk to me about the game. Stop it. Get away from me. All right. Anyway, I've been playing playing Children of Mortar, and
I love Morta.
That game is so it's the best roguelike for the simple fact.
Geek Nerd said Fallen Order ain't on Game Pass though.
No, it's not. It's not on Game
He said
Pass.
he bent Geeky Nerd. He said he bent the knee. He finally bought a game outside of Game Pass. He did.
But see, what it is I have EA access, and I told you my Negro bucks came in. Microsoft sent me my money, so I went and I purchased Jedi Fallen Order with my Negro bucks. Remember, the dude defrauded me and said I won a game. So when he said I won the game, I was like, oh, I want Jedi Fallen Order. I said, oh, I get a free one. Thank the gods. And it was not meant to be. But you know what? You know what Phil Dominus Maximus Spencer said to me? He said, you know what? I got you, King. Here's your Negro bucks, and go get yourself the Jedi, because he doesn't care where I spend my money, as long as I'm gaming with Xbox. You understand?
That is true.
So I went to EA Access. I said, you did say I get 10% off on all purchases with you guys, right? This is what we do. So I said, thank you, sir. And then I purchased it and I downloaded it. And I don't like the pop-in though. Pop-in, I'm waiting for the Series X so that pop-in could be a data pad.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah, a couple of engine issues going on. Hold on, guys. King, if you fit, I just got to introduce a couple of lords that have joined the realm. First of all, we got the silent one himself. This is a special occasion. Lord Stealth40k, I see your mic is muted. Hopefully you can unmute and we can get your voice going on.
He's getting his spirit bomb together.
He's getting his spirit bomb together because I got to hear Stealth, man. I haven't spoke to Stealth in a while, and it would be great to hear his voice. But until he comes back, we also have some PlayStation representation in here. My man, Lord, Mr. Badbit, soon to be at PAX East with the Lords. What's going on, Badbit? How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. And, we were just talking about, PlayStation just a little while ago. I said, hey, anytime you need a PlayStation voice, let me know. 5 minutes later, you're like, Guru can't make it. It looks like we all poisoned Guru because I put a little something in his water last night. It's hilarious enough. But yeah, no, you know what? I'm happy to be here, guys.
Awesome. We're gonna say this so much. This man gonna listen to the podcast. Think we really did poison him.
He's looking at his coffee right now, like, oh man.
All these statements are disclaimed for all legal liability.
We got Hoeg to protect us. That's right.
He's looking at all the stuff that these guys like. Was any of this imported from New York? What's going on?
I got Hoeg on retainer like 20.
That's right. All the statements are said in jest.
Yes.
Right. Thank you, Hoeg. I guess you saw my DM and my money will be in PayPal.
Appreciate it.
So what's going on, Badbit, man? What you been playing? What's going on?
Oh my God! So first and foremost, that Venom statue. Let's all talk about that for a second.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday. I think it was last night. I saw that video. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. Yeah, so I'm just in envy. And Baby Yoda, two of them. I can't even handle that. I can't. So
they hit me with the email. And I couldn't jump on that line fast enough.
Yeah,
I sent them that money last night.
I was just like, you know what I did? So I graduated college in December, right?
Oh, congratulations!
So student loan debt, guys. Student loan debt. Can't wait.
He's a student loan gamer.
I was just like, I Facebook messaged my mom. I was just like, usually people get like a graduation gift, so. Give me Baby Yoda.
You got Baby Yoda too?
I'm trying. Listen, I'm lobbying for it.
Okay, listen. Let me tell you. This is how I do a lot of my sideshow stuff. When you go and you purchase now, the only thing that you got to put up right now is $35. Being that it's $350, you put up 10% is $35, and you can do the payment plan, which will probably be something like $60 a month until September when it comes out, or maybe $20 a month, depends. And then when it comes out in September, they ask for the balance and then you ship. So you can either pay it all up front. You can do the portions. You know what? Which I like to do is the portions because I got so many statues. My budget is probably like $500 to $600 a month in portions, and that's it. But Do it now because I already know people's going to be buying 5 and 6 of them, and they're going to hit eBay for.
We're trying to make it like it's a family investment. Like we're all in on this. That's what my goal is. But real talk, I've been playing a few games as we wait for Stealth. First and foremost, shout out to Luke Lord, the Insipid Ghost himself. We've been playing on Xbox. Where's my Xbox One controller? This beautiful piece of architecture here. I like we've been playing Star Wars Battlefront 2. Nice. Love that game so much that I went to EA Access on PlayStation and I platted that.
Nice.
And so dude, let me tell you something. Star Wars on Battlefront on the Xbox One. Incredible. Nice. It's so beautiful. I have an X as well. I know I'm the PlayStation guy. I'm awful, but like love it. It
looks great on that X, right?
Yeah. Oh, most things do. Like playing The Witcher. Goodness gracious.
Yes.
Then what I decided to do on my show, we have a little something on the trophy room called The Road to Greatness. Each and every month, we try to play a game from the backlog of the history of PlayStation. And so we decided, after wrapping up DeathStranding, which for that was a treat, we would be playing Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. It's Uncharted, I think a lot of people have looked over. I did. I played the first level. I was just like, this is a Nathan Drake. I'm out of here. So, let me tell you something, guys. Gang, everybody, children of all ages. This is the best Uncharted game.
For real?
For real.
There's a thing called a good Uncharted game?
Oh, now that's also
stop
now, you're gonna have to knock it off.
There's good Uncharted games? I'm confused. What's going on here?
We're not gonna talk about the Vita
Twilight Zone.
We're not gonna talk about Vita. We're not gonna talk about Uncharted 1, which is meh. But after those, solid games.
I think all the Uncharted are meh.
I love all the Uncharted. I'm not listening to you, Addict. I'm sorry. It's like certain games you're not gonna be besmirching these games out here. But Uncharted for me, it was a refreshment from the Tomb Raider. I mean, it's a little bit different. It was like an big budget action movie.
Uncharted for me was meh.
All right, that's fair.
I like the brother.
Why it's bad. You just said bad, but with no reasons.
Let me tell you, other Zinc in the chat. Death Stranding is garbage. The story is for sure.
Oh, we can agree on that too.
You're not
get him, Hoeg. Hoeg, I know you about to go in. Get him, Hoeg.
We can agree on the
I
Death
see your
Stranding
takes on Death Stranding, Hoeg. I need to hear this.
We can agree on the Death Stranding.
We're not all going to agree on the Death Stranding.
No,
we're not.
Hoeg. Okay, we
get him, Hoeg.
No, let me hear Hoeg. I gotta hear Hoeg on this because I value his opinion.
Yeah.
So, every year we do a top 10 countdown of our favorite games of the year. And unfortunately, corporate law intervened and we're stuck on number 5, Resident Evil 2. But I will tell you this, in the top 4 for my games of the year 2019, Death Stranding is among them. And in my opinion, Death Stranding was not only novel and unique in a way that we so rarely see in AAA game development today, it was also affecting and tried to actually touch some part of the emotional psyche of human experience that is also so rarely touched. And I love the Jedi Fallen Orders of the world. I love all this other stuff. I love randomly running down corridors and shooting people. I play video games.
So you'd rather just walk on a large field, right?
Oh, I love it.
Let me tell you
just
something.
walk. You say, you know what? We got to get up that mountain, sir. That's going to be a trial. That's going to be a tribulation. And we're going to take our rocks and our shoes and our athletic apparel and this PlayStation 3. We're going to take it up that mountain, and we're going to
carry packages up it.
You're goddamn right.
Listen. I'm gonna tell you something right now.
Yeah.
Hoeg is one hell of a lawyer.
You know what?
Got Death Stranding off on acquittal. This is
he even just made me change my mind on it.
You know what? We
I understand why people might not like it, but I love that experience 100%.
We got to show some
alert.
We got to show. We got to show Hoeg some love in that chat. Put some more of those into the bushes for Death Stranding. We need all of those. I need to feed on these into the bushes with Death Stranding.
The realm is not happy with Hoeg right there. There's a lot of fraud alerts.
They're not trying to hear that.
But
we something in his team this morning.
We have to respect Hoeg's opinion. This is one of his games. All I will say is, what do you say to the people who say like, there's just a lot of monotonous moving the packages like
Here's-
before the game. Like you have to go, what is it, 20 hours in or whatever.
I feel
before
like
the
this game never ends. Like this
To
game
me-
never ends.
Here's what I'll say.
Let me get Hoeg's response.
So
to that.
to me, Death Stranding is much closer in format to an old game like a Privateer or an Elite. Not Elite Dangerous, but these kinds of old games where your primary focal point is on slightly getting better and better access to different ports and different dangerous areas and building up your ability to get to those areas. And then you combine that with Hideo Kojima's admitted wackiness. And
we admit it, though. We admit it.
No,
Okay.
no, 100%. No,
Good.
I think it makes it unapproachable for a lot of people. As it
Yes.
turns out, it's my flavor, and that's fun. But I don't have a problem with other people saying, whoa, that got real weird real fast.
Get him home.
That's
Okay,
fine.
okay.
But the actual gameplay, I think, is not so unusual for, it's closer to maybe a Euro Truck Simulator or an Elite or something like that.
Anytime anytime you visualize and explain a game by saying it's the Euro Truck Simulator, I don't know.
Which is a very successful, popular franchise, I have to add.
We're gonna have to get some more into the bushes in that chat.
Let the man finish. Let the man finish.
No, it's fine. So I never, ever have any problem with people disagreeing with me. In fact, I love passion one way or the other. I really hate ambivalence on these kinds of things. So 100%. You hate Death Stranding?
That game, right?
No problem.
I'm just messing with you. Listen, I love the fact that everybody has a different opinion of the game, and it's so diverse going across the boards. Some people say they play it, they didn't get it. Some people say they play it and they got it. Some people say they play it and they hate it. Some people say they play it and they love it. You're one of those people that fall into play it and they love it because they brought something unique. And
it's
that's what we
something
need.
Good, man.
Yeah.
The best thing that I've learned with Death Stranding and what it really has done, man, is it replaced NyQuil for me. Sometimes when I'm tired and I can't cut a sleep. No, I'm joking.
All right.
No, and that's
Stealth mic is clean. Man.
Yeah,
Let's get to
Stealth clean.
So here's the thing, right? Like I've been
all
playing
jokes.
games a number of years, and I haven't played Death Stranding before, and that's always nice.
Yeah. No, that's the thing too. When it comes to and listen, remember I was playing Uncharted. But like when it comes to Death Stranding, it's actually the gameplay for me that it is a total zen, just turn your brain off and relax game.
Yeah.
The sound design as well to me is unmatched. Like I've never there are blizzards in this game where it actually sounds like I'm in a blizzard, like I'm in a snowstorm. The environmental design is bar none. It's a weird story that
it's very weird.
It is.
I thought there was
not
going to be too much Switch slander.
Hold on one second.
Don't worry, I got words
double
about
check.
that.
We got Stealth40k back. I just want to make sure mic check is good. Lord Stealth, are you there, sir?
I'm here. How's everyone doing?
There he is. All right.
Bottom time.
There we go, man. Good to have the market research leader, the champion of JRPGs, my good friend Stealth40k. Always good to have you around, man. First of all, how you doing, and what have you been playing, man?
I'm doing good. It's been a long time. I've been playing a lot of Smash Brothers, actually.
Are you playing as Bayleth, sir? Is a Fire Emblem character is released? Is that going on?
That is exactly what is happening.
Now, are you dealing with the slight backlash of Sakurai? A lot of people upset, saying there's too much Fire Emblem character love. Or how do you stand on that? I was very curious. I wanted to ask you that.
I ignore most of it, honestly. But yeah, I mean, honestly, in a roster of 80 characters, I don't see how you can complain about anything. Really, it's especially
easy.
when
if you got a Twitter, you can do it pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, it's very easy to complain about stuff on Twitter, but
of course, no doubt, Tom. This guy's.
I mean, was that my first choice? No, but that's the way it goes.
You deal with it. Now, if it was up to you, who would you want to see that hasn't been revealed?
I'd probably like to see somebody from Koei Tecmo. Maybe Ryu Hayabusa. Maybe someone from the Disgaea series. I don't know if anyone here is familiar with that, but
one of the penguins.
Yeah.
The penguin good with Hoeg. I like that.
Yeah, the penguins with bombs. Yes.
There you go. I don't see why that wouldn't work.
I mean, at this point, I think Sakurai could make anybody playable and fun, and so I trust him to do that, and that'll be good.
Nice,
I'd love to see a Geralt. I'm surprised I haven't.
I think the biggest thing people need to stop taking away from the fact is the fact that, you know, you're gonna get more Smash characters. How many is in this new pass? Like six people, and you're complaining about the first one? Man, I hope just because I don't really care about the Nintendo stuff, I hope there's 6 Fire Emblem characters.
Yeah, I mean, people wanted King K. Rool. He put that character in. People wanted Simon Belmont. He's put in like
he put 15, Cloud.
He put in like 15 fan
right?
favorite characters, and you know people lose their mind over the one Fire Emblem character he wants. You know, it's like, come on, you gotta get a grip.
He's doing a better job breeding Japanese to that platform king.
Oh my lord! Don't start.
If they're not careful, it'll just be all Fire Emblem. It'll just be the heads of the 3 houses as half of the next pack.
If half the next pack, yeah. If they upset them, that's what's up, man. Good that Stealth. We got a lot of shows, so we're gonna get going. So, actually, last week's poll results are in, and the people have spoken. With the rumors of the PS5 having a faster SSD solution than the Xbox Series X, do you think any more hardware advantages will eventually be revealed by Sony as we get closer to the PlayStation 5 launch? The winner of the 3-way ILP poll with a fairly commanding 69% of the vote is no. The Xbox Series X caught Sony off guard group. Coming in at second place at only 24% of the vote was yes, Sony will strike back with more features group. And sadly, coming in at last place with only 6% was the I don't care, we just want more Xbox ES RAM and the Connect 3.0 group. Shout out to all those who voted in the chat. I want to get Lord King on this, sir. What do you feel? Do you agree with the people? The realm feels that the Series X caught Sony off guard.
Well, we knew we was gonna catch him off guard because Dance Move Ryan was doing his own dance on his own too.
Dance Moves Ryan.
Yeah, my man Dance Moves Ryan, boy, he's out here doing his thing. And the fact that anybody believes that they're gonna come with more features gotta be out of their mind. But listen, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Yeah. This is the fun part. This is the speculation part. But what we can't deny, the pure facts of the matter is, Phil Dominus Maximus Spencer was on that stage and he caught you off your dean with that right hook, and you ain't get your squabble back yet.
So we do got a super chat real quick.
Yes, please.
I want Jabari. I've noticed here in the chat. I want you to really listen to this as I say
Salute,
it. Jabari, we have a $5 super chat from Aaron. This is GameStop is advertising Xbox Series X is the fastest, most powerful console. How you feel about the Jabari? You might want to put some into the bushes in the chat for Jabari there.
Salute to Jabari.
Listen, stop messing with my boy. Listen, he definitely has been jumping in the Twitter streets. He's been Jay. I'm gonna tell you right now. The best part about what's been going on is J-Dub has been sending you out here, and I'm telling you, don't mess with J-Dub. J-Dub throws a grenade, and you sitting out here laying on top of that grenade for him. Don't do it, man. Listen, I hate to be slaughtering you in these streets.
Oh,
but please,
hold on. I gotta get my red and gold brother right now. Jay Fonzarelli, the grounded gamer. $2 super chat. Go Niners, let's go.
Oh my God, this is gonna be a Switch game.
Ooh, yeah, that's the new Switch game. That's the new joint.
We got a $5 super chat from definitely Elapino. Honestly, it's been fun seeing every Sony outlet being proven wrong with announcement predictions. Sony has everyone guessing. You know, he's definitely on to something.
Hold on, grounded gamer again, on to something. $2 super chat. Go Niners! Let's go.
Why does he keep bringing up the Switch game?
He's on to something.
I cannot do this.
Yo, shout out, somebody get Johan Zell, please.
There you go, King.
No, I can't see anything.
It's a $20 super chat. I think you need to see something.
All right, we got a $20
afternoon. Well, you want me to do this? Take my eyes out?
Yeah. We know. I have faith in you, man. I got faith in you.
A night of tequila. No.
Night of tequila. We got a $20 super chat from fan of Kraken, aka John Zell, whatever. I want to thank the Lords for keeping my sanity in this hectic day of work. I am a bookie for, I don't know, I'm not trying.
Yeah,
been aligned and monitoring all Super Bowl props and wages in this insane. But thanks to you guys, I'm listening and keeping my cool. And there goes Grounded Gamer.
Let me get that one. Again. Another $2 super chat. Go Niners! My brother.
Betting on Super Bowl Sunday, that's a heck of a job.
Woo! What's up, man? What's you say, King?
Hold on. Okay, no. I'm just making sure that we didn't miss one.
How you gonna tell us the people actually willing to read this and we missed one?
Listen. I'm just making sure. That's all. We all here together.
We got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, let's get to it.
You keep sending them 9 super chat. Don't you worry though, Will.
Oh my
keep doing it. Fonzarelli, go Niners. Crest for 6. Okay, so we're gonna keep this going. Oh Lord, here go Dizzy. Look at Dizzy to hate for Cognito to read. # Chiefs Kingdom. Patrick Mahomes for Super Bowl MVP. Kelsey over Kittle. Thank you for being petty, sir.
Wow.
You know it's funny. I'm a New England fan, and for the first time in 5 years, I can actually relax and watch the Super Bowl without freaking out.
I know.
I'm upset that
you gotta go for Jimmy G. Stealth. Come on, we gotta keep.
I'm upset that my man Tom Brady is not where he rightfully belongs. I did not feel that they supported him with a good enough team. And listen, Antonio, you messed Tom Brady's Super Bowl up.
Hold on. We got an amazing $2 super chat from Phantom Kraken. $2 super chat. Go Chiefs.
We gotta show them. We don't need to read those.
Competing super chats for you.
We don't need to read those. Moving along.
Go Chiefs.
Right. We got a topic now. Look, a lot of earning reports going on, so we're gonna get into the first topic. Looks like the Nintendo Switch, the earning reports have come out, and looks like it has surpassed the 50 million mark in sales numbers.
King, I feel like we don't even have to talk about this. Do you, King?
No, time out, because I got something refuting that.
Okay, that's cool. Let me finish the intro. So, so we got that going on, and with this number, it will probably most likely put it ahead of the Xbox One currently. It seems like the Switch, including the Switch Classic and the Lite, has sold 52.48 million units. The Switch has now officially surpassed the Super Nintendo with 49 million, and it's quadruple its immediate predecessor, the Wii U, ever did at 13 million. Now, on the flip side, obviously the Xbox earning reports,
and it's on the path to outsell the PlayStation 2, but people don't like talking about that.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
No, listen, I'm a PlayStation guy. I'll say it right here, right now. I want to see the Switch beat the PS2.
Switch
awesome.
Is doing well, man.
It's fantastic.
Now, on the flip side, obviously Microsoft's earning reports have come out, and it looks like they fell. The gaming revenue fell 21% overall for the second quarter. Now, I said the gaming revenue fell in terms of both hardware and content and services, and though hardware fell as sharply as 43%, content and services declined by 11%. So Microsoft did respond in a way. They said that they decreased revenue. They think it's with the decrease in volume in console sold, and they also feel that they blamed the third-party title offset in part by growth in subscriptions, and most assume that third-party title is Fortnite.
King, I just got one question for you, man. It's a very important question. You just tell me the first thing that comes to your mind. Mm-hmm. Who did that for you?
Bogus. I felt this is bogus.
All right,
but
so
go ahead.
Let me continue now. So I want to bring this to the realm. Let's start off with Hoeg and Stealth. I want to get them in first. As far as like I said, the earning reports, the first part of this, I want to start off with the Switch, which is, can the Switch keep this momentum, and how do we feel about that news? And then the second part of the question will be, how concerned are we, obviously, with the Xbox side and the gaming revenue side? So let's start with Hoeg first. Let's get in, where do you feel about these Switch numbers and these Xbox numbers?
Well, first of all, as a gaming fan, I think it's fantastic when Nintendo's working.
Yes.
Right? The Wii U felt a little bad, in all honesty. I love Nintendo. I've enjoyed a lot of their output. And it was great to see the Switch really take off. I actually thought when that first teaser came out a couple years back that it seemed like exactly the right thing if they supported it properly. And clearly they have. And with the refresh, with the Lite, I think it got a big bump. I think certainly Stealth would be better able to talk about that than I do. But I think it got a big bump when the Lite came out, and I think they've got a good management strategy. That Pro is there somewhere. It's going to come out sometime. That's what I'm really looking forward to. I would like just a little bit more power behind my Witcher on the Switch, just a touch more power. But I think they've got a plan, and I think at the end of the day, it's a great thing for all gaming fans, Xbox, Sony, and Nintendo, to have somebody going and blazing their own trail. The Switch is not like those other boxes.
Correct.
And in all honesty, all three are kind of pursuing different paths at this point. But it's great to have something like that. And for me personally, so I'm older than a few folks on this stream. I would be willing to bet. For me personally, the Switch offers the ability to have that flexibility where, if I need to play the equivalent to Stardew Valley or Fire Emblem or whatever because my girls are in the room, or I need to give the TV back and take it off its plinth. We have a shrine to the Switch underneath the TV. if I need to take that off, I can do that. I can play. I can still be engaged with the family.
Yes.
And I love my Xbox. I love my PlayStation. But in certain respects, playing an Assassin's Creed or Red Dead Redemption or other of these mature rated games isn't a functional possibility for me. And I love that Nintendo has had that success. And I love the Switch. I've been playing, as I said, Fire Emblem earlier in this stream. I also bought Evoland, which was on sale this week. I've been enjoying those. And it's just a great place to go for what I loved when I was a kid, which is kind of unique RPGs, side scrollers, JRPGs, those kinds of things, when maybe those particular genres aren't as well supported in the main line under the TV consoles.
Fair enough.
So we got to catch up on these super chats real quick.
We
We got a $2 super chat. Oh no, it's we love hearing your input, man. We just got to catch up on these real quick. So we got a $2 super chat from Stitch. Go commercials on the Super Bowl. So I'm assuming Super Bowl has good commercials.
Yes,
I'm dead. I'm dead.
So we got $2 super chat from the Grounded Gamer. Super Bowl 4K HDR on Fox app.
Woo! Go down.
See, because I was gonna go in on him because he's streaming on the app, and normally he's against streaming and stuff like that. But
we got another $2 super chat from the Grounded Gamer. Nothing but love for the Lords. But go Niners!
Oh god,
I love Fonz is ready. Fonz is ready. Let me get Elemental Pia with the $10 super chat. Nintendo could keep milking Switch for another year with custom systems, but the hardware is old now. How far can it go? Eventually, 2020 games won't port well on Switch currently. It's funny you said that Elemental Pia. Stand tuned for my take when it's my turn. I'm definitely going to address that. I got something to talk about there, but I want to get to stealth, man. I mean, obviously, this is your lane. That's why I definitely appreciate you coming on the show. I want to know, like, how are you feeling about this? Like I said, the success of the Switch, and then obviously the opposite with the numbers with what's going on with the Xbox division.
Yeah, so let's talk about the Switch numbers for a second.
Sure.
So in the US and Japan, in 2019, Switch had a better year than PS4 or Xbox One have ever had.
Yes.
So can the momentum keep going? Yeah, because if you look at the bundles this year, I mean, Sony and Microsoft basically gave away PS4 and Xbox Ones, like the $199 deals and like 3 games.
Yes.
Nintendo with the Switch did better than either of the systems ever had, and they didn't price cut, and they basically bundled one game. There were no good deals at all.
Yeah,
there was no reduction.
But to be fair, like, I feel like the reason they don't do that kind of bundling stuff now, is because they have the light and they can give a $200 product. So I don't feel like they even need to price cut.
They don't need to do anything because they're not losing. I mean, once the numbers stay high, there's no need for you to bend the knee.
I mean, PlayStation kill it, and they still be doing bundles.
They're not killing it. Those numbers looking funny in the light, bro. Get out of here with that. I done told you before, the numbers don't look good.
Continue, Stealth.
Yeah, so I mean, the point being, like, they haven't done anything, and they've already broken records this generation. And if the numbers keep going, they will catch PS4 at over 100 million. I mean, I think that's pretty likely. I think the Switch probably has 2-3 more years left. I mean, we're only entering year 3 of the Switch. I mean, it's not even that old. I mean, in terms of hardware, it's old, but in terms of how long it's been on the market, it's not old at all.
Right.
And in terms of ports and can that happen? Like some developers, like EA, will just never support the Switch no matter what.
They piss me off with that. I don't understand the logic behind that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like if they put like a Mass Effect trilogy or a Madden, could you imagine just what that would do? Like,
BioWare is having a hard time as it is, man. Don't put no more work on they play.
I just don't understand the thought process to avoid the Switch.
You hear Cognito out here capping for EA to get games on Switch? Yes! How much games you want on Switch?
Everything.
How much muddy witches do you need? We don't need no muddy Maddens. Just leave it alone, man. Stop playing. It can't be done. Leave it alone.
It can't be. It can be done. It's scalable.
You want Fireball Switch? Stop making fireballs.
Continue. I'm curious though. What do you think is going on with their thought process as far and continue your point about ports, especially when the next generation is coming, because a lot of people are concerned that when the next gen consoles come out, and this is obviously one of my concerns as well, like the scalability down will be that much harder.
Yeah. So to finish with EA, you know, they had an earnings call yesterday, and I don't know who said it, but someone said, you know, they see that the top 10 sales on the Switch, they're all Nintendo games. So, you know, they're a little nervous. But on the flip side, you know, they could put older games on Switch and make money with very little cost. So is that an excuse? Maybe. You know, but it doesn't stop a lot of other developers from you know, making good money on it. And in terms of next generation, yeah, there will be some games that just won't be brought to Switch. But on the flip side, you know,
I think that list is smaller than people think, though. Like, at the end of the day, most of these games are going to run on the Xbox One and the PS4 standard. So
That's a real trick, isn't it?
I feel like the majority of these games are going to be scalable down.
And
you know, they might look like Legos, but I do think you can get it running on the Switch.
I mean, and the truth is, most developers don't even know that they can run their games on the Switch. Like with the Outer Worlds.
Yes.
Like Virtuous had to come to them and say, you know, we can actually run this on the Switch, and they had no clue, and they're like, sure, go, you know, you can do it.
You ain't telling me nothing. It's Game Pass.
If
you think I'm gonna buy that game on the Switch, you think I'm gonna buy that game on the Switch when I got it on free on my Xbox? Phil Dominus Maximus Spencer take care of me, sir. I'm not even looking at that Switch. You think I'm gonna do muddy game? No.
Listen, wait till they add the Game Pass to the Switch in 3 years.
You know what? When they do that and they add that streaming, I'm able to stream games in good fidelity, then I'm going to be over there. I got the Switch. I'm just waiting for Switch nice games. Like, they're exclusives. That.
Yeah.
You know what was really the proof of concept for me on the Switch?
What?
So this last couple months, they released Alien Isolation. And that is the most impressive port to the Switch that it is just 90% as good looking as the PlayStation 4 that I have played through. And if they can continue to do that, I don't know who did that port. Maybe Panic Button?
Possibly.
Probably. That was actually in house, I think.
That was in
house. Could have been in house.
We got to get to the crux of this. Hoeg, did you purchase that $4 game?
Which $4 game?
The Alien Isolation. Because it's a $4 game right now on everybody else. Did you purchase that game at full price, Hoeg?
Let me talk to you about my life.
Here we go. Here we go.
Hoeg, I know you rich. I'm just want to know.
Here's what I'm doing all right on. I'm doing all right on money. I'm not doing so all right on time. So it's all a balance of resources.
So you wasted it on that game?
So what you did was you said,
why y'all put the pocket watching in the chat for kicking at it?
He said, I'm gonna take $60 just because I can have 40. It on the go.
It's 40.
It's 40.
Tell him, look at it.
He's got corrected you, kid. It's 40.
Listen, I would never know. But regardless to what, you said, okay, $40 is worth this portability for you. This is what I'm trying to get to the mind of the Switch
game that I beat. Well, so I had to take out my cartridge for The Witcher that I bought again to play on the Switch first. You understand? But I ran through White Orchard before a big closing call while I was not in my home office, right? I've played Alien Isolation now on the couch with my kids watching My Little Pony instead of having to play it on the Xbox.
Look at that convenience.
So that's what works for me. And yes, to some extent, that $30, that is an okay.
Also went from 40 to 30.
But I believe I was quoted that it was what, $4 or $5 on Xbox,
like $4 and free in Game Pass when it was there.
Sure, which I also have. Right? No. I
know you rich. I know you flushing cash. What I'm trying to figure out is
I don't have these super chats rolling through my live TV. I don't know what you're talking about.
Listen, tell him, Hoeg, this you gotta say. It ain't tricking if you got it.
You know what? You gonna stand down.
Tell him, Hoeg. This is what you gotta say. This is a
you out here with
ILP.
your Switch defense force.
Say Hoeg, say King, stop pocket watching.
No, but I'm trying to get into the mind of the Switch owner because this is what I've seen. Like,
aren't you a Switch owner though?
Yes, and my mind has been shut off from the Switch. My Switch is upstairs. I done shut the doors on. I look at it every day.
I love the Game Pass. I love my Xbox, man. I'm not against you, but I also love my Switch.
Every time King plays something on the Switch, you gotta lock that door, lock the deadbolt, man. He don't even want to look in that room.
Y'all are misconstruing this whole thing. What I'm seeing here is
I don't know, man. I think there's a little pocket watching going on right here.
No. Listen.
Try to understand the mindset. Go ahead.
People are getting hyped for old games at full price. And this Switch has got y'all with this Kool-Aid. This Kool-Aid is amazing. I don't know what type of Kool-Aid it is, but when Hoeg said, I can do portability, they got him. They got him.
That's it.
They got him.
You
They got him.
answer.
And that's the crux of the whole thing. They got him.
If I can help lawyer Hoeg here for a second.
Oh, 100%.
In his defense, I'm a practicing bird law lawyer here.
Sounds good.
New on Amazon, Xbox One, Alien Isolation is $20.
Okay.
No, I ain't saying new.
No, but it's in Game Pass. So in King's defense, it is.
Oh, did it come to Game Pass?
It is in Game
No,
Pass,
no.
yes.
When I say $4, that means go down to GameStop or go down to get it the way you can get it. You know, the pawn shop. You go to the pawn shop, baby. Come on, man, stop playing with me.
No,
I
but
mean,
there
I
are just some games you want to play on the go. Like, here's my Switch Lite. I got Diablo on there. I bought Diablo
That's so
on my
fun.
PS4 and my
Yeah, it's
PC.
so fun.
But like on Diablo, they're games that you're just like, oh yeah, I want that on my.
I'd love for them
I
to
like,
bring
I like,
an
I like
X
this unity, you know what I'm saying? Keep doing
Did
it.
this right here? You know what I'm looking at right now?
Cognito had to
turn
blow
my
the
camera
dust
on.
off just to
I
not
I
show
like that,
it.
Badbit. I like
Listen,
that.
I noticed what I noticed right now is we have the
Cognito put that switch down.
we have the Switch Defense Force in full effect up here, and I'm watching.
I got my
and
goons with me. I got
listen,
Stealth. I got Hoeg. I got my goons.
Badbit.
Yeah,
As a
yeah.
PlayStation dude, I need you to stand down.
Sorry. I need to stay in my lane.
I mean, this dude right here, he done switched out Sovereign and got 3. He brought a whole lawyer in here. and Hoeg is not playing. Like, Hoeg is really going hard. I can't defend it, you know, because
Yeah, he brought an analyst and a lawyer.
I got an analyst, a lawyer,
out of
and my man
control. This is-
Badbit, man. But I need Stealth.
I should have known from the topics. I should have known.
You knew what I was doing. You knew this was the setup. I had to bring some goons. for you. Now here's the thing, Stealth. I help King understand the portability factor. Why having these titles that he considers muddy versions? Why is this so important? to the
Muddy,
Switch?
high price versions. This is kind of crazy.
Please
No,
explain to him.
we got to call it the blurry version.
Please,
Like,
Stealth. I need you to educate the panel, the round table today.
I mean, I
Hold on, I
don't
gotta
know
read
if you
the
want to
super
hear
chat.
this, but
I gotta
actually
read the
do.
super chat.
I actually do agree with him. In the point that if money is an issue, then you can't beat free or you can't beat very cheap.
Sure.
And you know that's something else. And you know, but I do a lot of I do a lot of traveling. You know, I love being able to take my Switch with me.
Nice.
You know, I actually game in the office sometimes. You know, we all bring our Switches together and we do tournaments. You know, so that's kind of yeah.
I just want to get your personal opinion. Do you personally feel like The Witcher 3 is worth the price that's on the Switch?
I mean, probably no, but you know, to play it on the Switch, I'm gonna buy it. So
Yeah.
There you go. That's
You know.
Let me get this
the
Stitch
super chat.
669.
Oh, you can read now?
Oh well, you know what? He at me at King. We could talk about the real numbers on the Switch, the 420 and the 720p. Hashtag
Did
fraud
we
alert.
get
Throw
Fan
'em in the
cracking
bushes.
above him?
I got y'all. Shout out to Alien Isolation is an impressive port. Y'all gonna stop with this Go Chiefs. I'm gonna stop reading these super chats.
Go Chiefs. Go
In a
Chiefs.
minute.
Go Chiefs.
I'm gonna have
Shout
to be
out,
very
Go Chiefs.
biased.
Well, if you put Go Chiefs, no one's reading that. Cognito gotta read
I
it.
might not
Cognito
see
gotta
it.
read
I
it.
might not
me
say
say
that
one
might
last
not be
thing
the
on
color.
We're gonna have to bring it up to Cognito in the round, man.
That's not the color.
Let me say one last thing on this, right? So, as I've said earlier in this stream, I'm a little older than some of you.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite pieces of technology is essentially having the magic be in your hands and watching that go forward throughout the decades. And so I still look at holding that video game in my hands and playing it and thinking about the Game Boy and the Game Gear
Yeah, I do the
and
same
the
thing.
Links and
Oh,
the TurboGraphic portable.
My man, let's go, Hoeg. Links talk. Oh, that was my second too. Turbo,
You know
I'm
the
loving it.
craziest thing right now
Love
is
it.
We were
like
doing so good. not bringing up
Nintendo
old
has
stuff,
got
man.
this intangible wrap around your head that is kind of crazy. Like I'm listening to
I
it
had my
and-
Vita. I love my Vita.
They
Right?
low key
If they
got
still
Stockholm
supported the Vita, I
syndrome.
would
That's
still
what's
have
going
it.
on. They low key got Stockholm syndrome.
No, it's not. Yo, Addict, if you listening to it, right? Okay. the handheld aspect of it is the majority of the gameplay. This is what I'm hearing. And for them to have their game, they don't care if it's in 420, they don't care if it's in 720, they don't care if they don't have any flaws. They don't care. As long as they can have their gaming on the go. Woo! And I think Nintendo has struck a chord with these gamers, right? Because the Wii U, they didn't understand what the Wii U was, to be honest with you. They didn't know if it was an add-on to the regular Wii or what it was.
I mean, but the one aspect is the portability. The other aspect is the fact that Nintendo was publishing like 20 exclusives a year on Switch, and that's really the other thing is.
Man, stop clapping, Cognito.
I mean, they're just killing it with the exclusives, and
that's just it.
That was the best first year launch of any console.
He's just letting Stealth talk anytime he wants to talk, so he can do that clap.
Yo, go.
Here's the thing, though. At the end of the day, it just.
Why don't you hold up that phone, Cognito? Because we all know you be playing the XCloud right now, not even what you got in your head.
We get lost in the resolutions.
Just preach. Continue.
Yeah. We get caught up in resolutions.
Cognito's being too much right now.
The power of the Switch is the exclusives, right? Like that's why I get to my Switch. That's why Cog loves his Switch. It's the exclusives. So
Dizzy, did you say that I'm sweating bullets because Animal Crossing is coming soon?
Listen,
I'm
not an Animal Crossing guy. I'm not whatever.
I'm gonna try it.
They're bringing out games. They're publishing games, unlike I've seen Nintendo do in years before.
And
they're mostly quality.
Failed. Like,
what's that?
Let's stop it. Let's stop this. This is money. First of all, Ghost, this is no hate in my blood. What I'm trying to figure out is, why?
And
what I'm trying to figure out is where's Wind Waker? Why do they keep giving these people these games that I don't care about, but they won't give me the games I want that's remade?
But
because they're making you wait.
Kind of like Microsoft's making me wait for that Japan support.
Let Badbit finish. Let
Badbit
like I understand, like when people like lose their mind at certain ports, like when I see the Witcher 3 port, I'm like, yeah. Like I'm not one of these guys that's gonna tell you like every port's amazing, whatnot. Of course. But they're bridging platforms together, right? Like they are introducing a platform that's never had The Witcher. So to a lot of Nintendo fans, Witcher is a brand new experience. Just Alien Isolation. So that's what they're opening.
Hold on, King has a rebundle. He wants to talk to you.
I have a rebundle. Badbit.
Rebundle me, bro.
Let me ask you a question. Being that the whole topic is Switch outselling and Switch pushing forward, right? Had this thing start falling flat on its face, do these ports come out? No. So what they're doing is chasing the dollar, right? So we're saying that going forward, the fact that the Switch is selling so good, they don't care what type of ports they put out there. Some of these ports are hitting and some of these ports aren't. But they're making these ports, and let's call a spade, is because they are selling.
Right. Yeah.
When they weren't selling, when it was Wii U and they weren't selling, it wasn't no ports, it wasn't no support.
True.
It was nothing there. But
again, it's the exclusives that boost the platform. Then that gets more eyes on the platform, which then gets those eyes to look at other opportunities.
Right. And then let's not ignore the elephant in the room with the success of indies. I mean, we've had countless devs on ILP come on and say, look, the fact that they've had their title on, the Switch and they've done substantially better financially with those ports. So it's definitely an indie haven. And I hear what you're saying. All jokes aside, I do hear what you're saying. Like, you don't understand like the logic behind it. Why would you pay for an inferior version of the older product? But
let me get this element appeal.
Yes.
So the Switch is a portable outselling consoles. Should it be in the same league as the X and the PS? It is in the same league.
Here's the question, and that I'm glad Elemental Peel brought that up because let's transition with that first part as far as now we do know obviously it's 2020. The Xbox Series X, the PlayStation 5 are coming, right? So the question I'm gonna bring it back to you, let's start with Hoeg, is that do you think they can keep this momentum at the release of those consoles? You know what I'm saying? Do you think they're still niche enough that they can survive? Because the power disparity is going to be greater now, Hoeg. So what do you think about that when those next-gen consoles arrive?
Well, I think someone else earlier on the stream said the right thing here, which is that the Xbox strategy, we're a little bit unclear on the Sony strategy because they've gone to ground for a little bit now. But that the Xbox strategy is clearly that Series X is just going to be essentially a almost kind of iterative jump over the Series 1X, which was over the One, because everything's going to be playable on all those.
Right.
And I think you can get some good performance increases, some resolution increases, some nice effects on the X. But if it has to be played on the One, chances are it can be played on the Switch. If it's not a Microsoft exclusive. I will also say that there have been rumors now for forever that there is at least iterations in Nintendo that they're going to do an iterative jump, the Pro, whatever it winds up being called.
Shut down recently, though,
which was shut down for 2020.
True.
And I think that if it is shut down for 2020, then the thought process would be we don't want to launch against the Series X and the 5. We want to hold it a little bit.
Which I'm cool
And
with.
if the X and the 5 don't jump off the shelves, and if they don't necessarily have something that is really a system seller, or if they just, they're just done with their honeymoon phase after 3 or 4 months, and the Switch Pro in 2021 in March, which would be the 3-year anniversary of the original, I think, something along those lines.
Yes.
Is released then, I think then the Switch can say, okay, now we are just 1/2 step back from the new platforms again. And we continue to kind of slot into that spot where we have right now.
I just got a question. How many times throughout the years are we going to have to keep shooting this Switch Pro down? This is not happening.
All right, wait, let's get Stealth in Stealth. What do you feel? I mean, Hoeg's made a good point. Nintendo's been very, very tactical with their lingo. Like even the time when people knew a Switch Lite was coming, and at the time it was like we have nothing planned, and then later that year the Switch came out. So
you can't. When Nintendo says we have nothing planned for 2020, that's just them saying we might or we might not, but we're not going to tell you here.
Thank you.
That's really all that means. And when they announce something, they're not going to do it.
They have bad communication.
Well, when they announce something, they're not going to do it just because an analyst or they were asked the question during an earnings call. They'll do it when they're ready to do it.
No,
and they might not have plans now, but they might have plans in May or whenever they want to announce it.
So Nintendo can get away with you asking something, and if they say they're doing it, they're doing it. If you say they're not doing it, they're still doing it.
Yeah, basically.
So
100%. Yeah, they actually have to be very careful about what they say. So commitment is much worse than non-commitment from a legal perspective.
Talk that legal talk.
Exactly.
Talk that legal talk. Anyway, I want to get us Stealth for one question though. But what do you think? I mean, obviously the rumors were very hot and heavy, a 4K Switch and all this stuff. Like, what do you think realistically you can expect from a pro version of a Switch?
Probably better performance. Games that weren't running at 60 frames per second might. I kind of see it the way that the new 3DS was, where they brought Xenoblade to it, and it just I don't think there's gonna be any exclusive games to it, but I think games will run better.
Right.
I think they might look slightly better. The system might be faster with loading, and I think there might be some of those things. But in terms of like the new systems, like they're probably going to launch more expensive than even the Switches now at $299. I mean, I would think so.
That the Nintendo Switch is going to get a pro version, but it's not going to work with the Switch. I think it's going to be their next gen, and it's going to be the next. It's going to be the next Nintendo.
They would isolate that entire base of compatibility.
No, I'm not talking about in 2021. I'm talking about the next Switch that comes out is going to be their next gen Switch.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
No, I don't see them doing that. That alienates the already massive audience that the Switch
they did with the Wii, like they did every
generation. The Wii was considered a failure, though. Continue, Ben.
The Wii was a failure. The Wii U was a failure.
I mean, the Wii U could play. Wii games. I'm thinking that this is a jump.
In this case, why should PlayStation abandon the PS4? It's such a success.
They're not going to.
They're not abandoning.
Eventually, they're going
but
to.
the PlayStation 4 still can be played.
Eventually,
yeah.
But like remember that the PS2 had support from launch until like 2013. So let's get that out of the way right there.
Okay, so is there going to be PlayStation 5 exclusives?
Oh, eventually, sure. Yeah.
So why aren't these games on the PS4 if it was so successful?
Because what's going to probably happen with the jump from PS4 to PS5 is what they've said is they don't want to alienate what is a huge marketplace for them.
So they make exclusive games for the next gen.
Now hold on. 7 years is different from 3 years. 7 years is different from 3 years. When we talk about alienating or isolating, one of the things you have to take into account is brand management, right? Just goodwill towards the brand. Right. You go and you have the most successful console sales in 2019, and then 3 years after launch in 2016, you say, "Screw you, here's Switch 2. Good luck." That's not great for Nintendo.
I'm telling you, by 2023, there's going to be a new Switch.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah,
but it's gonna be the new Switch, just like the new
it's gonna be backwards compatible, and it's going to go forwards compatible too.
One of these is gonna be called Super Switch, or I'm gonna be very upset.
That's honestly the one thing. Like a new Switch, it has to be backwards compatible. That's like the biggest thing. Like it has to play carts of every single Switch.
Because I think Nintendo is done with the traditional console gaming thing. That like, all of their
I agree. I think this is their lane. Continue.
I don't believe
this is where
that.
they live for a good long time.
I don't believe anybody on this panel understands exactly how Nintendo thinks or why they do what they do.
So what do you?
I don't really think
Let's
so.
Go.
I honestly believe Nintendo will move at the beat of their own drum at any time that they want to.
The beat of their own drum is handheld.
Yeah, but listen, because they can control you. I've seen it. All right. So the fact that they can control you, listen, they put out their own VR, which was a labo. Like
I was on show talking up.
Hold on. Just real quick. Did we get this Phantom Kraken?
Yeah.
We got a $5 super chat for Phantom Kraken. First time I hear Power and Switch in a sentence together. But if you guys like mud, go for
you
it.
guys.
I'm down with you.
Shout out to Titan for the $1 super chat with a smiley face salute. Continue, King.
The fact of the matter is this, right? I know a Switch Pro is going to come. I know everything is going to be back pat. Now, in a normal world, this stuff makes sense.
I just don't think...
Listen, this is a normal world. Tell me at what point in time has this Switch followed anything that is normal?
It really hasn't.
It hasn't. He's
nothing.
Right. He's right. They've gone against conventional.
So what makes you think they're going to make a Pro?
You know why I say they're going to make a Pro? In my head, it makes sense. Right?
But you just said nothing about this console makes sense.
So I want them to make sense at some point in time. I want them to make sense.
Right.
But they have not at all. So do I have faith that they're going to make a Pro? Hell no. But do I think they're going to make a Pro? Sense-wise, if I'm betting money.
Hold on. If we put percentages, let's go around the realm. What's your percentages of a Pro?
100.
100.
Yeah,
okay, you guys.
say about 90%.
But again, it's not going to be called a Pro.
I'm saying 30.
I'm gonna say, yeah. I'm gonna go with the 35% because I don't trust these dudes. Listen, you know what?
Nintendo has not done one thing that makes me think they care about power in any shape, way, or form.
Don't. Not if they can have a kid with a cardboard box on his back with a string strapped to his hand.
He's coming for you.
And they said, yo, we're bringing the stuff that you find irrelevant. This stuff.
It's true. They have us playing with cardboard.
And they have us back in the bushes playing with cardboard.
I think the thing Nintendo cares about is they care about their indies. They've been very supportive in that thing because they know that their portable aspect of their console always sells indies. There's a reason that everyone is looking at the Nintendo Switch to play indie games, including myself. They care about their first party titles because that's what really brings in the money. Obviously, if you look at that list, almost everything's outsold. Every PlayStation and an Xbox exclusive on there. Right. And then they're like, if you want a game on our platform and you're third party, you're more than welcome to do it. I mean, we got something. I mean, you could try.
No, I hear what you're saying. I mean, let me jump into it. This is fun. Listen, Nintendo does beat to their own drum, but like I said, this lane. I think they found their lane. It works
for them now.
Yeah,
they've been finding their lane. They just never try to combine them.
True.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead, Self.
Yeah. They have something where they can do Switch 2, 3, 4. They didn't necessarily have that before.
I agree. I think again the perfect form. I'm a Vita guy, and the problem I have with the Vita again, the lack of the dual analog. right? The fact that the analog wasn't a button. Then you have the 2 sets of shifts. So this replicates full functionality like a next-gen controller, and you can play all games with it. So that part of it, I think they're fine with form factor.
I need Stealth input on this, right?
Go for it.
Yeah.
My question to you, Stealth, is being that they already have this part with the when they took the Switch and made it a standstill, right?
He hates the
Switch Lite. That was a very bold move because what you did was you started people believing in one area of the Switch that it was a versatile machine.
Yeah.
But then you took away all versatility. And you made it into the successor of the 3DS. Hold on one second. You made it into the success of the 3DS. Now, get this part, right? Let's say they use that successor to the 3DS as they handheld joint, right? And they do a traditional home console. Do you think they're going to make a traditional home console while still keeping the Switch brand and the Switch label? Because the Switch officially took over for the 3DS.
Yeah, it did.
So do you think they can officially make a home console to equal or get close enough to the power of the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X to compete in that area while still having their handheld market intact?
So one of the things that Nintendo said when the Switch was coming out about 3DS is 3DS was like $75 at the time, and they were like, yeah, we really need something that's super cheap. And so the Switch Lite was in direct response to the fact that they didn't have anything cheap with Pokemon to sell with parents. So they really needed something at that cheap price point. Couldn't Nintendo theoretically build a monster? In terms of they could, because they did it with GameCube. It was more powerful than PS2, and they still didn't get nearly the support that PS2 did. So could they do it? Yes. I see them really liking the Switch, like what it does, being able to play it on a TV and a handheld. I think they really are in love with that model, and I think really the Lite only exists because they needed something cheaper to bundle with Pokemon, literally for the holidays.
I think, I don't have no issue with the Lite. At the end of the day, they do call it the Switch Lite. So, it's a little light on the Switch features. So, I get that. And to a point, it's people like myself. I don't even know where my dock is. Right. So, I don't care about the console aspect. The Switch is a handheld to me. But we can't deny that that Nintendo, they do promote this. That Nintendo does promote this as a console.
Right. If you watch the Japanese commercials, most of the first part of the commercial starts with a family on the TV, and then they're traveling somewhere on the train or something. So they do promote that dual aspect of it.
At the rooftop party too, and at the basketball court. Don't forget.
Yeah, where they stop playing actual basketball to play.
That's a realistic scenario, Stealth. Right? I see that all the time. Stealth, I see that all the time.
I mean, they're a little idealized in the way that they market it. I mean, I know there was one. I think I posted this where I was watching one of their commercials, and there was one scene where they were in bed with the lights off and nobody around. I'm like, that's the most realistic, Switch
what my
scenario.
best commercial for them was when the baby was crying and they got in the car. Then the baby was only quiet inside the car, and they drove around the block, and the two parents were sitting inside the car playing Switch. I said, first of all, I used to do that with my daughter, and if I had a Switch, I would have been better off.
We got to get these on to something real quick. Masters of the Gimmicks. Shout out to Johan Zell. Never expect traditional again. And Cycle Gamer, what's going on, brother? $5 super chat. Nintendo has effectively taken themselves out of the home console market and sticking to what they do best. Hashtag handheld. Let's get Stealth, and I want to get Badbit to finish up.
Yeah, I mean, if people think that the Pro is going to be an Xbox Series X or a PS5, it's not.
It's not.
What it's going to be is a Switch that runs the games better, faster, like that.
Do they have any? Is gonna have any ray tracing?
Oh my god!
Yeah, I mean, but in 3 to 4 years, Nintendo will come out with the next Switch, and it'll probably be called Switch 2 or something or new, but that will happen. But it's not going to happen.
They'll just put a U at the end. Everybody will be confused.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to happen at the 3-year mark. It's just not going to. Nintendo was selling way too much I mean, Nintendo sold more software last year than PlayStation and Microsoft have ever dreamed about selling first-party wise. You know, so like Nintendo is rolling the money right now, and then they're not gonna like cut that off for a long time.
Stop it. You know, this guy, y'all gotta stop feeding this guy. I mean, y'all really gotta stop feeding him.
We got like Badbit to get to. Badbit,
you know,
got that Switch Lite, man. I see you take good care of it, sir. Continue.
Yeah, please. Yeah. I mean, first off, sweetheart, they don't mean any of the mean. No, to be real, to me, it's all about price point. It's not about power. And that's what the Switch has proven over the years, is that if you could get the masses onto this idea, onto this gimmick, whatever you want to call it, then they'll adopt it. If they could see it, believe it, hold it, play it, they'll get on it. When it comes to a Switch Pro, I always say, just stop calling it a Switch Pro. It's going to be a Switch 2.0. It is going to be a more powerful, more capable Switch. It's not going to play 4K. Right. It's not going. It doesn't need to. Right. What Nintendo needs to probably start worrying about is xCloud, is Stadia. When streaming starts to match the fidelity that you're going to get and the quality you're going to get on Nintendo Switch, so you can expect in the future Nintendo attempt to start to future-proof with better tech, but it's going to be more stable, and you have to also think about battery life and battery technology as well moving forward. So no 4K, but I'm thinking something 1080p.
Well, they got to focus on 1080p because they can't. Exactly. Let's get that first. Let's get a 720. Let's get to the 1080p first. You know, because we doing all this 4K jump. That's a hyperbole. Let's nail down this 800K. I mean 800p mark. Let's get.
And then after we get the 1080p, let me message my friends on the service too. Let's go there.
That's so petty. Hold on, I got to shout Chris Hughes. You see them with Nintendo's are masters of the brainwash. Look, I'll finish up the time and we move on to the Xbox portion, which is okay. Look, I hate what you guys are saying. I think I'm leaning to what Hoeg is saying in the sense that I'm actually glad that it's not a supposed Pro is not coming out this year, because I would prefer it come out after the Series X and PlayStation 5. So at least, you know, again, are they going to close the gap? Probably not. But to what Stealth is saying, you know, as long as they can get, 60 frames per second, I still don't really care about the resolution. My main thing is that what Badbit said is key. Most people, muddy or not, having Switcher, having 2K, having Mortal Kombat, having those things on a platform for a group that normally wouldn't get that, they're going to play it. So, here we go.
You said something that really makes no sense. It's like a car saying, I don't care that we can't fly.
People don't care about power as much as you do.
No. Okay,
that's the issue that you're struggling with. You are the big boxcar specialty car racer. You are an anomaly. You're the Lamborghini driver. There's more Toyota Camrys than you goes, brother.
Yeah, this is
I drive a Corolla. I love my Corolla.
There's more of us than you.
No, this is right. You're right. But that's not the aspect I'm talking about. See, when you say that, we don't care about the resolution, you had no choice. It's like you don't have a choice. It's not like they brought a poll to you and said, do you want 720 or do you want 1080p? So there's no choice. But I understand, Hoeg has helped me understand.
That's where he's going.
Like, he literally helped me understand. He put it into terms because Hoeg is cash flush, right? So it being cash flush, he said it's not about that.
Hoeg don't like the pocket watch.
He said it's not about the cash, King. It's not about that. So that you saw the Cash King. It's not about that. It's really about the portability. He said, when my daughters is watching My Little Pony, I'm on the side playing my muddy switcher. I feel him when he says this. When he says he's playing Alien Isolation because after he won a huge case and he done got this money,
not a litigator.
He just sat back to the side and he pulled out his Alien Isolation and looked at the judge and said, "You know what it is. You know what it is." So Hoeg is on to something, and I'm down with Hoeg. This is what it is, and I found out he's doing it because he can. Y'all doing it Because you can. We can't. If we have we try to take our PlayStation outside, we're gonna burn in the sun. No, we can't leave the comfort of our home with our PlayStations. We can't leave it with our Xbox. Well, now we can do it with xCloud. But right now the Switch is winning because they could do it, baby. And I feel it.
No doubt. That's pretty much. That's literally what I was good. Go ahead.
I don't think xCloud and that's going to hurt Switch too much. I think you're going to have some people that will play on the xCloud that is an extension of their Xbox. xCloud don't got Pokemon. xCloud don't got Animal Crossing. xCloud don't got the games that actually sell Switches.
That's a good point. Let me get these super chats real quick. Johan Zell with the slander. $5 super chat. Nintendo are a bunch of cheap people. They recycle old technology, give it a spit shine, and sell it to you for $300. Damn, Johan Zell. Somebody get Brap. Oh, Brap's in here. Let's go.
I mean, he can't really
PC Master Race.
I mean, especially when we're getting sold cardboard.
This is the fact. PC Master Race is the Lambo of gaming. Consoles are the
Oh my God. That man is brand new. He's stunting the PC Master Race right now. He's stunting.
Well, you know, if you spend $5,000 on your PC too, you got to come outside and cap. Sorry, sir. I do not subscribe to your philosophy. I only paid $500 for my X, and it's still whitewashing your PC Master Race.
I want to get to the second part of the time with you, which again is the Xbox division. Obviously, like I said, the numbers came out. You know what I'm saying? It's 21% down in gaming. You know, some people, not all.
Go ahead and get that super chat because it's a Switch super chat. And then we'll go.
Okay. You want to get that for me, sir? Because I was in the middle of my rant.
Yeah, sure. Sorry.
The Switch is a strategy to be viable. If streaming takes off considerably, the Switch will not sell beyond 150 million to streaming targeting 3 billion. I don't think so.
The old 3 billion size market. You see those on business plans a little bit.
Yeah. Good. I get Hoeg. I see you going.
Yeah. In terms of like the Xbox numbers, they don't give us like actual hardware numbers. So when they say it's like 43% down, we don't know what that means anymore.
Right.
So like I don't really stress out about that because, you know, 43% down. I mean, we don't know exactly how much hardware they're selling because they're not telling us anymore.
Right.
And they don't tell us what software is selling either.
Right.
So, you know, when people immediately see down, I mean, if hypothetically, if they were selling super high and they were 20% down, but they're still selling more than the other systems, it doesn't matter if they're technically down, which I don't think is the case here.
Right.
But, you know, it's just hard to.
It's hard to quantify when you're not getting specifics, right?
You know,
but I
yeah,
guess
we're not getting any specifics.
But my question to you, Stealth, the only thing, I'll be honest, the only thing I was concerned about was the content and services aspect. Because, you know, hardware, to me, that makes sense. You're at the end of a console generation, right? People are not looking. And then let's be honest, Microsoft has notoriously, at least the last two consoles, have already foreshadowed and predicted a next console to their base, right? So I could see the Microsoft base say, or the people who may be interested in an Xbox platform saying, hey, why would I get an Xbox One X right now? You've just announced a Scarlet, I'll wait. So I get that part. But the part that little surprised me was content and services, especially with the push for Game Pass. And it appears Game Pass is doing successful for them. They are constantly promoting the service, they're expanding the features and so on and so forth. They're talking about it on xCloud. They're talking about. So I guess, I know we don't have specifics, but does that part even surprise you a little bit? With content services being down in this supposed earnings report?
It's only down 5% though.
Yeah,
I think it's 11, right?
11.
Yeah, it's not down crazy, but also there's not like a mega exclusive.
Numbers,
there's not like a mega exclusive for XPass or some of their services. So it's like it's not going to go up forever. Right. You know.
And let's talk about the Beanie Baby situation, right? I mean, Fortnite is a unique property. It was at its peak or peak level 1 last year. That's what at least everybody has implied that they are addressing when they say we're having issues with a third party. That's the difference between year on year and quarter on quarter. And so if you were to take that out, if there was some algorithm or some metric you could use to at least flatten it into something normal, that Fortnite wasn't explosive, then 11 probably isn't 11. It's probably 2 or 3 or 5. And that starts to look a lot more like the 7th year of a console. And so that isn't that unusual in my opinion. And what I really love about this, and you heard me talk about it when we were talking about Nintendo, is Sony is pursuing the version of the game console that we know and love, stronger, more powerful, still sits under your box, and it's going to be that. And Nintendo has done this weird hybrid thing that I love. Some people don't on this very stream. And they're doing that over here.
Right.
Xbox has said, all right, the Xbox One, TV, it didn't work out. We tried to then be essentially baby PlayStation for the bulk of this generation. And then we leaped it with the X. And that's not really where we want to live. What do we want to do? We're Microsoft. We're one of the biggest companies in the world. We love recurring revenue. We love software as a service. We love the constancy of our budgets and what this affords us in the digital age. And so we're going to focus our energy on Game Pass, on recurring revenue, on this very new subscription model of video gaming. And it's different from what Sony's doing. They're going to be competing in a similar space for the console under the TV, but Microsoft ultimately isn't only in bed with that model. So if they come in millions less than the PlayStation, that isn't a failure point, that isn't a success point that we can easily determine just against what Sony's going to put out there in their press releases. So yeah, it makes things like on this stream and these conversations and the Iron Lords more difficult to have, because those numbers are essentially going to be calculating different things as they move further and further apart. But I personally, as a business guy, as a law guy, as a video gamer who loves this industry and this hobby, I think this is fascinating. We are in the middle of an experimental prototype genre of where this industry can go. And you've got 3 different models that you can follow. And ultimately, in my opinion, I'm an optimist. I know you hear that a lot about lawyers. Lawyers are all optimists. They're all very happy people. But I'm an optimist. And I think all 3 can succeed, targeting different things, targeting different people and different user bases. And I'm very excited to see what 3 years down from this launch looks like for everybody.
This is exciting. Let me jump in. Hold on. Quick smooth with the follow super chat. Content and services is DLC and digital purchases. Xbox Game Pass subs and I'm MAU. I don't know what that is. MAU increased. Why am I not knowing what MAU increased? But anyway, thanks, Kid Smooth. I appreciate that. No, I hear what you got.
Elemental PO for the $4.99 super chat. Xbox is down. Guess what? Sony is down too. Everyone is down except Nintendo. And we have Tempest Sun for the $5 super chat. Getting to the topic late, but what about Nintendo looking Animal Crossing to one
per console?
Per console, no matter how many profiles you have. Cheap.
That's a stealth question.
That's by the way, subscribers.
That's a controversial one. I wish Guru was here as well. But look, monthly active users. Thank you, Delilah. I appreciate that. Look, I mean, Hoeg is bringing up some fantastic points in reference to philosophy, and I think that a lot of, I don't want to say antiquated thinking because people get mad when I say that, but I want to say a lot of people. What'd you say, Hoeg?
Traditional.
That's a better word. Thank you. Yeah. So most people are locked in to how the console generations always used to go, right? So what Microsoft seems to be doing seems foreign. A lot of people say, hey, how can they sustain themselves with this new strategy about ecosystem? Like, this seems to be about an ecosystem, getting you in bed with Game Pass and all this other stuff. And then I guess I'm glad you said what you said as far as the whole services down thing, because I've been seeing, people's response to services being down. Like, you see, that Game Pass stuff ain't gonna work. That's what they're saying, Ho. They're like, this is a reflection. You know what I'm saying? No, go ahead. I'll get it, Badbit. I know you're about to jump in. So I want you guys to respond to that, because a lot of people are saying, see, you guys are drinking the Game Pass juice, and the services are down. So now the services down, now what you going to say?
Right. And that's the thing. Like, I'm a PlayStation guy, right? Look, I even bought the back button attachment. I love it. It's fantastic. I look at these numbers. I look at the hardware sales. I did. I look at the hardware sales numbers, not shocking, not surprising. Right. We beat this drum all over again. 7 years this generation. So that's not surprising. The services, sure, that's a little weird, but I also see that as possibly people going from, migrating from Xbox Live over to Game Pass. But we also see the huge success of Game Pass. And I want to quote Benji's sales here, where he says, Game Pass subs doubled this quarter. It's skyrocketing. The problem is software sales are down a lot, which is bundled with services reporting.
Right.
So the problem, the problem
King is ready.
The problem is that Microsoft is so vague when they're reporting these numbers and what these numbers actually mean and what's bundled with these numbers.
Right.
But on the other hand, as well, is that Game Pass. This isn't a Game Pass is not working. This is something straight up telling you it's doubled. Game Pass is succeeding. It's getting in the mind share. I'm a PlayStation gamer. I'm subscribed to Ultimate for the next 2 years. I love Ultimate. I think it's a fantastic service.
100%.
So yeah, when I take a look at these numbers, nobody should be worrying and nobody should be waving a flag of who's winning or who's losing, because that's stupid.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're all gamers. And at the end of the day as well, PlayStation in a few days, they're going to probably come out with their report and it's going to probably look just as bad.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
let me get Stealth and then King, I got you.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at like the PS2 years, let's say, Sony was #1 in the United States, in Europe, in Japan. They were #1 everywhere. And Nintendo had the Game Boy Advance, sold like 80 million units, but was never #1. So Nintendo was like, okay, how can we and they had a system more powerful than the PlayStation 2 and the GameCube. And they were like, how can we possibly be #1? And they did something radically different with the Switch and the NES, and they were again. If you look at now, Nintendo has a stranglehold on Japan, and right now they have a stranglehold in the U.S. and they normally compete with PlayStation in the U.S.
Right.
And has a stranglehold. So Microsoft is like, okay, how can we be #1 at something? How can we compete and do something different? You know, and that's you know, that's a pass they're doing.
Right.
That's something that really that they're #1 in, and they can be. You know,
and they also get to create the narrative.
Yeah, they do.
That this thing matters.
Right, but
Yeah.
let me. The chat is attacking y'all on one thing though. The chat is saying when you guys are saying Game Pass, you know, has doubled. They're saying doubled from what? Because of the fact that Microsoft does not provide.
All right,
so
let me get that because you know the chat can sit there. Christopher Hart can say whatever until you put color, Chris. I can't see you. All right, so that part right there, that's the part that we're gonna go with, Chris. Until you can put $1 super chat to get your voice out there heard.
You're ridiculous.
All right.
This is hardcore over here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
super chat
yeah,
in here.
I don't move until I see color. Anyway, all right, so let's
And
just
then
check
sometimes
this out.
when he sees color, he still don't move.
Well, there goes color. There goes color. Okay. All right, there we go, Addict. Let's get that color.
Oh, look at that. Okay, you want me to read it? Okay.
I gave you a
So
break a minute
I
ago.
can see the color, but you can't.
Yes, sir.
So we got a $5 super chat. Well, I think that's pounds. I don't know.
Yeah,
but anyway, does the panel know the number of handhelds sold in Japan and China over the last 3 years?
I don't know. That's a Stealth.
Stealth?
Yeah.
We can
That's a
look
Stealth.
that up, Stealth.
Yeah.
I mean, Switch has sold over 10 million regular Switches in Japan, and the Switch Lite is over 1 million. And that's been out for half a year. I don't even know.
Yeah,
That's 4 million.
Yeah.
that's what's up.
So yeah, and yeah, Switch has done better in Japan this year than than the first 3 than any year that's been out. So
Gotcha.
but yeah, I mean, but the 3DS sells like 600 units a week. It's done.
Okay.
All right.
fair
So
enough.
check this
Yeah,
out,
okay.
guys. Right.
Saying you frauding, man.
Listen. No. Listen. Okay, what you guys don't understand about business, the fiscal year ended. This is where you had your Black Fridays and stuff like this. Is why you get those sales to get rid of old stock, right? So what Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony was doing was getting rid of old stock. What Nintendo didn't do was they didn't drop a price. So their numbers is always going to look higher, right? They sold at a higher pace. What Microsoft and Sony did was they lowered the price of the existing hardware. So you're selling a higher volume at a lower rate, at a lower price point, right? And then
They
you
also
was,
bundled 3 games with it.
and you was
Yes,
bundling, you was
good point.
throwing your stuff away. You was getting it out of your hands, because what you wanted to do is sell out of your constant your stock, right? Because going into the future, you don't want to have a whole bunch of old PlayStation 5s and PlayStation 4s and Xbox X's going in. You want to make room for the new Oh my God, Christopher Hart
No
put
one
money
read
in.
Christopher
Hold
Wright
time out,
but
time out,
me.
time out. I gotta read. Okay,
Yes.
I'll read the first super chat. I'm gonna read Christopher
got
Hart
Kid
because
We got
I
a
did put him
$5
on
super
blast.
chat from Kid Smooth. Put it this way: Xbox made 11 billion in 2018 and 10 billion in 2019. Nobody's getting fired for only making $10 billion.
Christopher Hart put it in color for you now.
All right, here you go,
It's your
Christopher Hart, for the
obligation.
$2 super chat. Is anyone playing Game Pass on Switch? Okay. Is anybody playing Game Pass on Sony? No. The thing is, when y'all looking at services being down, just like you were saying, game sales is tied to services. So if you're getting 200 games in Game Pass, this is why Game Pass is up and services is down.
Yeah,
right.
If you're getting 200 games in Game Pass, why the hell are you buying games? It literally makes zero sense for you to go out and actively purchase games
Unless
if
it's
you're
Star
getting,
Wars.
well,
I mean,
if
yeah.
it's games that's not going to be able to come to the system, what people have been getting done to them is they've been being burnt. I've been burnt before, right? Pause. You purchase a game and then lo and behold, a month or so later, it comes out in Game Pass. How annoying is that? And then you probably didn't get a chance to play the game that you purchased a month before. And then when you get a chance to play it, it's in Game Pass. So then you're saying to yourself, it makes you skittish when you go to the store to purchase, because the first thing on your mind, if you're an Xbox owner, is,
do I really need to buy this?
Do I need to buy it
right now? Yeah.
is it going to be in Game Pass?
Well,
Now,
I'll tell you,
if
there
it's an
was a game-
EA game, you buy it.
But you know,
coming to Game
I
Pass.
definitely, I want to real quick before we move on.
we
I
gotta
want to
get
shout
home,
out
too.
to the 187
Yeah,
people
thank
in the
you
chat.
Hit the
Definitely
like
hit that like button if you guys don't mind. I'd like to get it to 100 before
Yes,
the end of
please.
the podcast. It's only like
Hoeg, just
13.
jump in on that point. I know you had something to say real quick, but I'll give it back to Ken.
Oh yeah, no. First of all, I already have hit like, so I always like my own
Thank you,
content
sir.
because I just like to hear the sound of my own voice. I'm a lawyer. No, second, what I will say is a couple things. First of all, I'm in total agreement on Game Pass. So Game Pass, I think, is a success. I think it will be a success for Microsoft. But I think, like most things, when you're trying novel business approaches, there's no guarantee. There's a lot of rocky shoals to still be navigated here. One of them was just identified, which is how people are going to respond to the notion that this thing could be free in a little while. There was a game that came out middle or towards the end of last year called Remnant. End of Ashes, End of Days, Fallen Ashes. Can't remember the entire title. Remnant. I was told very good things about it by my game developer brother. He said, you should get it. I looked at it, saw it was a AA game, said, this feels to me like this is going to be a Game Pass game. This is what I said to him. I said, this feels like a Game Pass game. And sure enough, I think 2 months later, a month ago or so, comes out on Game Pass. And I say, Yahtzee, wonderful. Fantastic. We did it. But Microsoft, I won, but they have to navigate that third-party relationship. Exactly how those people are getting compensated that made those games, whether they're satisfied with getting the money that they're going to get from Games Pass participation over what they could sell through. And having all those conversations is what all those lawyers, all those business people, all those vice presidents with the titles that we can't remember at Microsoft are going to be focused on, because this is going to be their focus for revenue generation. It's no guarantee. I have confidence that they'll figure it all out, but there's a lot of places for this to go wrong. Whenever you're dealing with a third party that's essentially creating your content, you think it's, we call it Game Pass, right? But there's an analog to that, and that's Movie Pass. Now they had all sorts of trouble with fraud and things we can talk about on a different stream. But that particular service had to rely on third-party content providers, third-party premises providers in respect to the theaters. And whenever you have those multifaceted kind of relationships, you've got potential for problems. And
well, Hoeg, this is where I say Game Pass circumvents your theory, right?
Okay.
Because every last one of Microsoft's first-party games are inside Game Pass day and date. They purchased 15 new studios to ensure content at a steady stream. So this is where the theory of them relying on third-party software, no, it is not a crutch. It is an asset, actually, because while you wait for every 3 months a new Microsoft game to come out, every 3 to 4 months for the year, for it to come out like a new Marvel movie, you have other little movies in between that you can hold off until the next big game release. And I think that's where the change is. That's where Microsoft has changed the game, actually, because, you know, Sony is hell bent on not trying to put their stuff in PlayStation Now day and date. Now I don't know, Jim Dance Move Ryan looking kind of different.
But if I could say one thing, just jump in. First off, Jim Ryan knows the polka. He's gonna be Dance Move. Secondly, to go off King's statement here, that's a huge thing when games are tied in with services, and you have a game like Gears of War 5 come out phenomenal and it rivals Fortnite for a few weeks. Most of those people didn't buy that game at $60. They bought it for the $1, $5, whatever the promotion's going on right now. And that's what a lot of people are they're not looking into the weeds on this. They're looking, they're looking from a binoculars, 20 yards away type of deal. So when it comes to Game Pass and the future of it, King, I think you nailed it 100% right. They have 15 studios. Those studios have multiple teams. We see it out of Ninja Theory, right? They're working on 3 games. One's coming out next month. The other 2 look insane. That's what Microsoft's going for. They're going for, hey, we're going to have this one main game, Hellblade. Then we're going to have this test game, which is going to be a weird horror game. You're seeing that with Obsidian right now. They're working on Outer Worlds 2, but at the same exact time, they got this weird Honey, I Shrunk the Kids thing going on. But they're trying to balance out this portfolio of theirs and grow it at the same time.
I hear you rebutting.
So here what I would say on this is that at least up until now, and we can give them the benefit of the doubt for their new look with all their new studios and everything else. I don't think anybody would say that Microsoft first party is outputting like Sony or Nintendo. And so when you've got the Game Pass out there and you've got essentially what should be the foundational pillars of your service as every quarter, it's going to be a big Microsoft game. That is still something that has to be proven in terms of value, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
And what I'm saying is, in the ancillary, if it doesn't rise to that Nintendo or Sony value, it's still good. I like a lot of Xbox games. Don't get me wrong, 100%. If it doesn't get to that value, they have to be very careful to not estrange all of the third party that is kind of adding in the mortar to their bricks.
Because that is one thing that I constantly hear all the time from my Xbox friends is, I want this game, but I think this is a Game Pass game. I'm going to wait.
Feels like Game Pass.
And that's something that they are going to have to navigate in the future. And that might affect a few games. I mean, we saw it with Control. I saw when that was rumored in November to come to Game Pass. Everybody's like, well, I'm waiting.
I was like, oh, Phil slipped up. Yes.
Exactly.
I'm not buying
it. That has to hurt them in a way of like, well, shit, it's not coming here.
But at the
Sundays,
time,
the Lord's
have to
Day,
manage
please.
that.
No cursing.
Manage that notification.
Oh crap! It's not coming to Game Pass.
All right.
So
listen,
you have to
just real quick. What I've noticed is they real slick. I caught on to Microsoft real hustle. Okay, a lot of these games come into Game Pass and they have DLC. They have all these little purchase items that you can purchase for these games that's inside Game Pass. I've noticed that with the Devil May Cry and other games, right? And you can purchase. You can actually use your DLC, buy in-game currency, whatever. This is where the game gets second life. So when a game stops living, like Tekken 7, and I went and I got Tekken 7 for free, but I had to go buy all the DLC to get all these characters. They made me money hand over fist. Now I'm left with all this DLC that I purchased that I didn't have to purchase the game. But when the game starts to leave out of Game Pass, guess who has to buy that game in order to validate all that DLC that I still have on my hard drive, but I won't be able to access it because the game is not purchased. So I must therefore buy the game. So sales of games is going to go up once you get hooked on the DLC. So they give it to you for free to try, right? Technically, whatever, you're paying monthly. They give it to you free to try. But then once you try, you say, you know what? I want that extra content. You purchase the extra content. Now you get an alert at the bottom. The game that you purchased that extra content is leaving. You get an extra 10% off when you buy it because you're part of Game Pass and you done got the game. You done played it. So you feel, you know what? This is the best time as ever because it's getting ready to leave and I'm already in. So that game gets sold to you. So I think Game Pass also should be raising the portfolio of game sales on dead games.
What we've seen is, shout out to Warhol Studios who we've had on, that a lot of these titles are outside of the sales window, right? So sometimes they jump in Game Pass and it breathes that second breath of life into it, right? On a revenue standpoint, where normally the cycle should have been over already, right? The game has long been released, all the DLCs or whatever is out, but now it comes in a Game Pass, and then you see people say, "Oh, you know what? Let me give it a shot." And then, like you said, King, okay, maybe they buy the DLC or what have you. But I just want to get the super chats real quick.
Yeah, Pixel Big G. I got Pixel Big G.
Yeah, Pixel Big G.
His theory has a point, but it describes why PlayStation Now is a failure. Xbox following the Netflix model, smarter way to do it.
All right, shout out to Brat with the follow super chat. Agree with what Hoeg said earlier. Big three will have different approaches, but can be successful in their own lanes, given how big and diverse the pie is. Then we have, I believe it's P. Diddy, Papa Daddy Puff.
Yeah, I was going to read that, but then I read that name. I was like, that's someone else's job.
Yeah, you get the next one. So P. Diddy, why wouldn't Microsoft bid for the NFL and NBA licenses to compete with Madden and 2K? Create a first-party sports studio. Those would be system sellers. I remember, I actually spoke to Phil personally about this question a few years back. Now, as far as the license, the MLB license is what I spoke to specifically. Looks like they don't have to worry about that now with the whole situation with MLB The Show. So that's going to be coming over. And as far as the NFL and NBA license, I believe the NFL is exclusive, Hoeg, to EA?
Yeah.
Yep.
I believe.
Yep.
And
all contracts end, but yeah.
Yeah. So Hoeg, you know something coming up pending?
I love Hoeg.
No, I don't represent Electronic Arts or the NFL. I'm just saying all contracts have a term.
Yes.
We got a $2 super chat from Restore Hades. King is right. Random Spoons lies.
Reynolds Spoons. Okay, Reynolds Spoons L. So look, let's get into that. I was gonna say, as far who do you miss? I did get Stealth, right? Stealth, did I get you on this one? As far as the old the whole revenue thing and Game Pass and services.
Yeah, I mean, I think Microsoft is gonna be fine.
Right.
I do think that they bought those 16 studios. Some of them were hurting. See how that lands, because what made me a little nervous was Gears of War 5 was supposed to be a pretty huge game last year.
Right.
And within like 2 weeks, everyone forgot it existed.
The conversation stopped.
Yeah,
right.
so
I still play it. I still love it, but that is something.
But according to Phil, he said that 5 outperformed 4.
Yeah,
but they won't give us numbers though.
Yeah,
so it's like,
true.
Well, you know how you can get numbers, right? Become a shareholder.
Oh my God! Yeah. You back on that?
So this is because I've been going at Jay Barr, I've been going at everybody. So I got to keep the same energy, even though you are a panelist today. I got to tell you, if pocket watching is the thing, since we play video games, we don't play numbers. This is what we're gonna do. In order to get that spreadsheet, and Hoeg can attest to this, in order to actually have hard concrete numbers, buy stock, and then we can know exactly what Microsoft is moving and how they pushing in these streets. But the fact that certain stock is not being purchased, people is left to speculate, and those people that are speculating, those are pocket watchers. Those are individuals that have no intent on buying stock or physically trying to figure out what Microsoft is actually doing. Because at the end of the day, if Microsoft goes under, I've watched NEC, I've watched Sega, I have watched Data East, I have watched Hudson Soft, I have watched numerous companies and developers go under. And you know what this guy kept doing? I kept on pushing, buying the next console, the next company. Whoever falls down, I'm getting the next dude that steps up. So had Stadia won and Microsoft fell out, guess who's playing Stadia? This guy. So at no point in time.
God.
I'm sorry.
No, but this is the truth.
Is this where we're at now? We're talking about Stadia?
Shout out to the Stockholm, but Arturo coming saying silent like corporate slave talk.
Well, maybe it is corporate slave talk if you pocket watching and you want numbers. You want numbers, go buy stock. I mean, I'm literally giving you a path.
I mean, he's got a point there. If people cared about those numbers that much, go buy some stock.
You really want to know
most
what
annual
Microsoft
reports are publicly
doing,
available.
Go buy them stocks. If you really want to know what Microsoft earnings is, go buy them stocks. If you really are so upset that Microsoft is not giving you the numbers that you're looking for, go buy them stocks. Don't pocket watch without buying them stocks.
And
you know what?
Stocks
They
in the chat, y'all.
trading in the open market.
In the chat.
Go get that, man. Go get those stocks, baby. So then you can tell me, then you can come back and tell me what's going on. Go do that. because you concerned. I want you to ease your concerns. I want you to go buy those stocks and try to figure it out.
Hold on. We got someone coming at you on that. We got a degree.
Ain't nobody coming at my neck because it ain't in color.
Okay, but
there's no necks.
Lord Addict, deemed this color for this one particular moment. Y'all got Nintendo stock. Nintendo stocks was talking a lot numbers earlier, fam.
But remember, they revealed this. Remember, Nintendo revealed what they were doing.
Yeah, so I got like bad news on most of this video stream.
Let's go.
So yeah, the corporations absolutely owe their stockholders certain financial reports, certain availability, capitalization tables, things of that nature. There's a broad swath of generally accepted accounting practices that allow consolidation and things that are not going to give you the numbers that you necessarily want, at least not until you're willing to sue them as a stockholder. I can't honestly recommend. They have some good lawyers on their side. They have a lot of them, which is probably more important than how good they are.
So we can't go buy the stocks and sue. I want to sue.
You can 100% buy the stocks. You can say, I need to know exactly how many users and how many sales you had of Gears of War 5. Yeah. You can go. You could say, you could take it to the Microsoft vice president. They'll say, thank you, sir. No, you have your annual report just like the rest of our stockholders. And then you can say, we're going to sue under Delaware law. And they say, come at us, bro.
Fair enough. Look, I got it.
It's like we got a whole room full of people that do nothing but sit in courtrooms. Let's go.
This is a funny time. I'll finish it up, man. This is a hilarious topic. Look, yes, I was surprised that the services wasn't revealed. As far as the hardware, it's like Badbit said, it's to be expected. End of generation. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing new. Kind of thing. I think to me, what we should be concerned about is if next earnings report, when you have a Series X out, in the wild, and you have xCloud released and Game Pass supposedly flourishing the way it should flourish, if those numbers still replicate the same thing that we're seeing now, then it's Phil Dominus, me and you got to have a talk what's going on. But for right now, no. I'm not concerned that in the least right now, it's something I figured to be expected at the end of a console generation. But that's what I got. We got to move on. We got one more topic to get through. King has been chomping at the bit for. And King, what is going on? I'm hearing a lot of things about remote play and the flexibility of remote play.
What my man Jim Dance Moves Ryan has put out. They put out a little questionnaire to individuals trying to fill out, what's going on. Would you like to have a Game Pass type of service on the Nintendo Switch, playing your Sony stuff on it? And also, they want to know if you want to be able to hook a controller up to your phone, a PlayStation controller, up to your phone to play something sort of like xCloud. Now, being that they got these as a service, and Jim Dance Moves Ryan has always been in pocket.
He's capitulating with your Xbox with Phil Davis's movement. He's in compliance is your exact word.
He's in compliance, sir.
Yes.
Is this?
Wow, King. I just had to interrupt you for 2 seconds. People are on Twitter hashtagging go buy those stocks.
Yo, they going crazy with the stocks right now. Continue.
Yeah. So, is Phil Dominus Spencer's influence influencing Jim Dance Moves Ryan's next move? Is PlayStation going to go in an xCloud type of way? Trying to get into services like Big Brother.
All right, let's give some context before I give it to the round table. All right, so apparently, with remote play, there was a recent survey that came out, and actually it was on Reddit. A guy posted screenshots exactly of what this Sony remote play survey was. And some of the questions were, would you as a PlayStation owner like to play your remote play on the Nintendo Switch, Apple TV, Android TV, as well as have functionality with the Xbox controller
and so on. So this definitely raised the eyebrows, of a few in reference to Sony's stance as far as, I want to say playing with others. So let's just use that terminology, right? So this has a little bit of the incident in the tizzy because, when Microsoft announced, things like this with xCloud and Game Pass and, any device, those were the terminologies used. And a lot of people felt, by Microsoft doing that, they're devaluing the brand and so forth. So a lot of the Xbox contingent were hearing that kind of rhetoric. So what I bring this to the round table with this information coming out, and it seems to be legitimate. I've seen 2 other sources, state that they've gotten these surveys with the Nintendo Switch and the Xbox mentioned. Do you think this devalues what they're trying to do with remote play, or do you think this is just a new direction with Jim Ryan and where he's going? So I want to get Badbit first because he's my PlayStation guy, and then I want to get Stealth in the order and then Hoeg.
So I made a video about this on Badbit Games. You can check it out. And we will be talking about this on the Trophy Room of PlayStation podcast made by Place for Place each and every Thursday. But
you got to enjoy that.
Nice.
That was
solid.
beautiful.
That was a
200 viewers
flow.
saw that, brother. That was, I'm proud.
So first and foremost, like we say on the Trophy Room, we love all the consoles. My co-host bought his first Xbox this November. God bless him. And so when I look at something like this, where it's allowing PlayStation players to go outside the realm and go into other ecosystems and play there and experience PlayStation games, that's awesome. We've had remote play on the Android and iOS for almost a year now, so that's not new. But the one thing that I have to think is this is not Sony going, what did Phil do, and then like writing a note down and just doing it. Companies are working years in advance. So PlayStation, some guy named Jeff had an idea one day, and they're following suit with that. You saw it with Gaikai when they announced the PlayStation 4, that Sony had an idea of what cloud gaming was going to be. Now, did it end up being the correct one? No. But we're also seeing Phil Spencer have his way of, hey, this is what we think services should look like. So right now, what PlayStation is looking at is they have this service, they've had this service that has offered 600 plus games, but no one's buying it. And so why aren't they? And they're looking at what their competition is doing right, where they have 100 plus games and people are really excited about it.
Right.
So they're looking at where they can take the value of PlayStation on the go. And so when I take a look at all this stuff, this is awesome. Like this is being able to play on my Apple TV if someone's using my TV. That's fantastic. I love the number 4 right here. It's a slim/portable DualShock controller.
Yes.
I think that's where everybody's taking it. I think even Phil Spencer put out Destiny 2
absolutely,
on his
that
mobile
Razor
phone.
that looked crisp. But bad. But
That's awesome.
I gotta stop you for a second.
Go for it.
Got to get to the crux of an opposing platform, the Nintendo Switch. They are asking their base, do you want our service on the Nintendo Switch and possibly Xbox One? Does that not strike you as a philosophy change, so to speak?
It's a huge philosophy change. That's why I really do like what Jim Ryan's been doing so far from what we've seen him do publicly. I would love to see the day where we're playing Gears of War on a PlayStation and we're playing Uncharted on an Xbox, where it is, hey, listen, there are these boxes that'll play these games the best, but you can play these games anywhere. And where PlayStation and Xbox and Nintendo have become platforms and not consoles. That's what I'm excited about. So like when I see them going, hey, what about the Switch? The Switch is their direct competition. They're taking a look at it going, well, all right, let's see, let's dip our toe in it. Microsoft's doing it with Cuphead and all their games.
Again, I hate to do this because I gotta reiterate a lot of the base, a lot of the Sony base would state there will never be a situation where first party exclusives are shared, or like for example before the PC thing came with Horizon Zero Dawn and stuff like that,
it's not gonna happen.
Right now a lot of people are still holding fast to the day and date part, and I get that, but my question is, this is now Sony's exclusives on an opposing platform that I've never seen before. Do you at least not find that more drastic?
It's their service.
Okay.
So like if they're looking at bringing PlayStation out to more places, I don't think that's necessarily saying like let me backtrack when I say Uncharted on Xbox. What I'm meaning is PlayStation now is on Xbox where you can play some of their PlayStation games, right? And maybe that is like an Uncharted Lost Legacy or something like that. Okay. I'm not, and I think the people that do complain and that are showing the gifs of like people like, you know, the guy jumping off the window type of gifs of Sony HQ, those are vocal minority. And I don't think they echo most gamers. I don't think most gamers care about that. So for me, when I take a look at stuff like this, it gets me excited. I personally want to play my PlayStation games on my TV at home. I don't care about playing it on my phone or anywhere else. But like, if that's what you want to do and it allows people to experience your ecosystem, that's what PlayStation wants you to do. So when I'm seeing MLB The Show on PC, when I'm seeing Horizon, that's them extending their IP so that more people can experience the PlayStation ecosystem. That's what I think they want the most out.
Fair enough. Let's get started.
So you think they want MLB on Xbox?
Oh yeah, dude. That IP prints them cash. So MLB probably approached him going, "Hey man, listen, we like you guys. Your studios do great work. You know, this is legal talk, right? This is how it works. We like your studio.
It's not that different.
Yeah, we like your studio. We understand that product, the fans like it, but we see Madden, we see FIFA, and we want that. Can you give us that?" And
I like this.
And Sony's probably going, "Yeah, all right." I don't think
so
MLB
you don't think it was a like get down and lay down type of situation? Like you don't think they like walked in the room and said, "Yo, we sick and tired of eating at that one bar. We want to eat all over the place."
Oh my God!
And they had no choice but to just give it up. Like they said either yes or no. Like
to me, no, I think to me this raises more questions for their future IP, like Spider-Man. What's going to happen when that contract runs out? Right?
Isn't that contract up already?
No. They got a couple of games. One would assume.
Wait. Talk.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Okay, wait. Talk. You said that Spider-Man wasn't a one-off game. That Disney actually.
Marvel
question.
Yeah.
I don't
What's
know.
the question?
The exclusivity as far as length of time with Spider-Man, holding with the Insomniac and the Sony deal.
Do they even make that number public?
Yeah, I didn't know they did that.
No, I don't believe I've seen that contract. That's one of the reasons in Virtual Legality we talked about the Destiny Activision contract, because that's one of the few that's been made public.
Yes. Because
of that lawsuit between Infinity Ward and Activision. But no, we wouldn't know. But you can take a few things. One of the things that happens with Marvel Spider-Man on the PlayStation is that you have what's called a jointly developed intellectual property. Okay. Right. So you've got Spider-Man. That's obviously Marvel's. Spider-Man's been around a while. He's Peter Parker. He swings. He dresses up as a spider. It's a thing. And then Insomniac.
You wouldn't say.
Yeah, exactly. It's a whole. If I have to go further, we can talk about what Spider-Man.
Continue.
But Insomniac comes in and makes a game out of that. Now, that game that they made is something new. That isn't Marvel's own specifically. And the license that they had in that contract will say certain things about that thing that came out of this joint development effort. Who owns it, what they can do with it, how long they can do with it for, and what happens to it after the term of that contract ends. We're all guessing as to what that looks like. But in all likelihood, because Sony funded that they paid Insomniac to make that, Sony has at least what we would call a veto right over uses that they don't want to see. Probably. All speculative, all guesses. But chances are in that contract, there was also an extension term. Whether or not that was usable by both parties, whether one party could just say, yes, you have to give us these rights in the future, it's open question. These licenses can look very different. But chances are Spider-Man hits X amount of dollars sold, X amount of units sold. Sony has an option to say, yeah, we're going to make another one of those. Gotcha. Is that cool, Disney? And Disney says, yeah, okay, well, we made money off of 13 million units. All right, we'll live with it. Sounds good, Sony. And that's how those contracts are built. You try to anticipate the future. You try to look at, okay, what's the really good scenario? What's the really bad scenario? When do we need a divorce? When do we need to re-up? And chances are, since Spider-Man obviously broke all sorts of records, was hugely popular, if there was a renewal term, some kind of automatic term, that would have been triggered. I think all the rumors suggest that Insomniac is already working on 2. So that license is probably in existence and probably not markedly different from what it looked like 5 years ago when it was entered into.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So
Okay.
when I see Sony going and taking the MLB license and throwing it on Xbox, throwing it on what we can presume the Switch as well, that's Sony just going, okay, listen, we like making money. We want to continue this partnership with MLB.
Right.
It's a deal that favors both of us. I don't think the MLB the show is like a Spider-Man, which is going to sell systems off the shelves.
Okay, bad bit.
Yeah.
My question is, isn't that a change of philosophy? Because this is an exclusive title. This is like having Gears or Halo.
And this is where King just completely grabs the conversation and goes the way he wants to.
No. It's just what I'm
guilty smile.
What I'm seeing is the change of philosophy is dramatic, and this has just happened soon as the change of leadership. So Jim Dance Smooth Ryan is I understand that he's under a tremendous amount of pressure to perform. You know, and sometimes when you're under this tremendous amount of pressure to perform, when get down and lay down situations present themselves, because I understand they said that we want more money.
Yeah.
Now we know how much we're going to make from you as a projection of what you're going to make for us, but we also see that this can be put over here and over here, and this is revenue that we're not getting. Now, being that we're allowing you to produce this, and you're doing a great job.
Your MLB voice is lit right now. Go ahead, continue.
You can't talk about Sony without have some kind of back jab.
Continue. I love his MLB voice. Continue.
But
do that MLB voice the whole time, man. Do it the whole time.
And as part of a team, you must know how to play ball. No pun intended. But
I think the pun was intended.
The pun is definitely intended.
I don't believe that. Objection by HoegLaw.
Objection by HoegLaw.
I honestly feel that Sony had absolutely zero choice in this matter.
I don't know what the background deal looks like.
I was about to get in. Let him get in.
No. I mean, I think it's the same kind of concept, right? So we talked about Marvel and Sony. Major League Baseball is a third party.
Yes.
So they have their own wants and desires that are associated with this. It's very possible that Major League Baseball said, hey, we totally screwed up the 2017 World Series. Can you save us? And they said, can you put Major League Baseball, the show, on multiple platforms? It's possible it was driven by that. It's possible it was driven by Sony. Here's what I would say about this. See, I think this conversation is important for change in philosophy, yes, but I would also qualify the kind of branding we're talking about. And this is somewhat opinion-based. This is somewhat kind of how I personally feel about these things. But when you talk about a sports team or a sports game, I don't identify the show with Sony. Like I identify Kratos with Sony. Like I identify The Last of Us with Sony. I think moving the show out, even moving Horizon to PC, which I actually think is a little bit more DeathStranding, Decima, and we could talk about that at a different time if you wanted. But moving the show to Xbox, moving it to Nintendo, I think there's a blanket kind of everybody loves baseball, whatever, that isn't necessarily, it's made by Sony, and it's been selling Sony consoles to baseball aficionados for a long time. But I don't know that it necessarily says, this is PlayStation, this is Sony. So I think moving that out is less of an existential threat to the Sony brand value than saying, hello, people, Nathan Drake's on Series X.
Right. And I think that's
let me talk for a second. Okay. Now, I get what you're saying on there. You know, they don't see that as a more of a hurt to their brand putting it on other platforms. But I would be okay with that statement if it was just like that game or just MLB in that game. But, you know, we've seen all of the Quantic Dream games. They all came to PC. Sony owns every one of those IPs.
Well, so Quantic Dream's a second party. There's open questions about exactly how those licenses work.
But how many of these situations have to go before we realize it's a Sony thing pushing for this? It's not another platform pushing for this.
It's possible. I'm not saying you're wrong. I really am not. I'm saying that a confluence of...
I mean, they own DeathStranding, and they let that go to PC.
I gotta read this. I gotta read this super chat.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, so that's Phantom Kraken joins out. All right, did King just implies Sony started taking a blue pill.
All the Matrix references. Oh my God! Continue, Hoeg. This is gonna get crazy.
Oh, well, I mean, he's on to something.
He's on to something.
Got that reference, sir. Thank you so much.
He's on to
I
something.
eloquently put that together, and I'm so happy that you followed the rabbit hole down with me. Thank you.
Matrix
We could just
references.
do the whole metaphor.
Yeah.
Okay. No. So all I was going to say is that yes, a confluence of events, a confluence of licenses, like the Quantic Dream license, where it certainly looks from the outside, again speculative, that there probably was a funding relationship that actually did release all the Quantic Dream games back to Quantic Dream as part of that license. That's what that looks like. That's why it all happens at once, etc.
But I feel like
Epic
this
Game Store
happening all within like a year and a half to 2 year duration. I really feel like Sony's the one pushing for these to come to other platforms,
and I can't
because
tell you differently. I'm not
because we go from an era where there's none of these games, or the majority of their games, if none, are coming to the platform, to PC, and then we go straight from that to all the Quantic Dreams are going to Epic Game Store. DeathStranding, they funded, they own the IP. That's going to
they don't own the IP. They definitely don't own DeathStranding.
No, they own DeathStranding. They own the trademark.
Wait, hold on. Like, what did you say?
If they don't,
so wait, Stealth and Hoeg, y'all both saying they don't own the IP.
they own the trademark.
They might have trademarked it on behalf of Kojima Productions, but I don't believe they own the IP.
Well, all I'm telling you is it says Sony Interactive owns the trademark.
But I'm pretty sure that Kojima owns a good portion of that game, and it was probably an agreement.
All I could tell you is what I could physically see.
Right.
Yeah.
So
We
here's
got
how
lawyers
that
and
works,
data
right? So
researchers here.
Kojima Productions makes Death Stranding, and Sony offers to do certain back office support for them. So Sony's good at trademarking things. Right. I mean, that was probably one of 300 they did that day.
Right.
I mean, that's how a company like Sony operates. So it doesn't surprise me if they are the name on the trademark. It doesn't mean that they have full rights to it or it wasn't assigned to Kojima. Either way. Regardless of that point, I can't sit here and tell you that you're wrong about whether Sony is pushing this or whether it is simply the way these licenses work. I do want to speak to what some other people have said in terms of xCloud streaming and this all philosophy.
Yes.
In my opinion, Sony is definitely the most traditional moving forward.
Yes.
Definitely wants to sell a PlayStation 5 under the TV. But I will also say Sony has, for the last 2 decades now, been a company that dips its toe into things that are otherwise.
Yes, I agree, Hoeg. Yep.
On the internet, you see that as, oh, they're copying or whatever. I'm not going that far, but I will say that I think they're smart enough to say, well, the Game Boy's made a lot of money. What if a PlayStation were portable? And then the PSP is born, and they give it a shot, and they're maybe not as bad as Google, but they tend to ditch these things if they aren't immediate over-the-top successes.
Right.
So I view this as experimental. This is what every good business does. They say, okay, we've operated in this fashion for this long a period of time. What are the properties that we could have that wouldn't be an existential threat to our console sales, where we can go test these waters?
Exactly.
What does it look like with Horizon on the PC? What does it look like with the show on Xbox? If that year that the show comes out on the Xbox, you don't see that bump in whenever that comes out, February, March, on the PlayStation, you say, okay, maybe that is a problem for what we just did, and we don't do it again. And you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is like Sony's not doing this blind, right? There's probably someone on the back end, groups of people on the back end, analyzing to make sure that this is the best decision for PlayStation, and vice versa for MLB The Show. No one's doing this on a feeling. I don't think that's how businesses work.
Absolutely, I agree.
So when
not good ones,
when we're not good ones. So when we're talking about, like, again, MLB The Show leaving PlayStation and the change of philosophy, that doesn't mean it's a bad thing.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely
absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
So when we're talking about Jim Ryan, this is a man who has made the PS3. Remember the PS3, the garbage fire that console was for the longest time. He was able to make that console successful and dominant in Europe. And this is now the man holding all the pieces together. So I'm not saying he's the next Dominus Rex, but he's understanding the future of what gaming might be.
No, I'm just absolutely trolling. What I say is this, right? I say that the philosophy had to change, and for a couple of companies to the people that they had in positions of power wasn't particularly how can I say it, in agreement with said change.
Are we referring short lading, sir?
I'm referring to Reggie Fils-Aimé as well. And I mean, I believe that these individuals stood on a square, and they were, you know, they had to be removed or they left on card because they're not. Listen, one monkey don't stop the show. All right. At no point in time is anyone bigger than the Shield, you know, or is anyone bigger than the company. So what happens is when you're not in compliance with the company, you can be replaced and removed with somebody that is in compliance with what we're trying to do going forward. Because if there's money on the table to be made and you're a company that brands yourself on making money like every other company in the world, then why wouldn't you pursue those opportunities that are afforded to you?
Absolutely.
You know?
Also, just to note, Sean Layden, when he left, he was president of the first party studios. He wasn't president of PlayStation as a whole.
Right. I just want to I want to get Stealth in. I don't want to lose him in this. In reference to, I don't want to lose our overall point, which is remote play.
Sorry.
Right. So I want to get back on that. So Stealth, you know, when you hear about these surveys that Sony is doing, specifically with Switch, I want to ask.
I was about to say he's trying to bring the Switch in.
Right back. Let's get back on topic. So
we just talked about the Switch for 2 hours.
Now we have to get back on focus. So here's the thing: with this news, one, what do you think about it? Two, if this is the direction they want to pivot, do you think Nintendo would be in compliance with such a thing of remote play on the Switch?
Well, so this kind of is more of a market research thing to me, where they're kind of just putting the feelers out there, you know, seeing if people. I don't even know if we're serious about it, but they want to know what the fans think. You know, like in terms of Microsoft bringing their games to Switch, you know, Minecraft actually sells more on Switch than it does on Xbox. And that was even before that they bought the company. You know, so that kind of relationship is a little different. You know, in terms of Cuphead and what's the other one? Ori. You know, Ori's more first party. Kind of. I think they own the IP. I'm not sure. And that's really more like, you know, Microsoft and Nintendo have a good relationship. I don't think Sony and Nintendo. I don't think Sony and Nintendo.
That's
I don't
my
think
question.
Sony and Nintendo do.
This is news to me. I'm dying to hear this.
And that's why, like, Microsoft and Nintendo are more willing to play ball, because, you know, Nintendo opens up Japan to Microsoft, where they wouldn't sell anything in Japan. So that relationship is actually very beneficial. Nintendo and Sony compete way more than Sony and Microsoft do. They're competing in Japan, they're competing in the US. And then that relationship is a little bit more contentious. You know.
So let me give you a hypothetical. As a result of said survey, let's just say the PlayStation base is in overwhelming agreement to bring remote play to the Switch, and they bring this back up top. Do you think, as a result, even though this relationship has been contentious in the past, but they're in the business of making money, do you think that they would approach Nintendo and possibly try to make something happen in that regard, as far as will there be an app on the device in the future?
I have to see it to believe it. You know.
Well, here's the thing about remote play, right? It's a hard thing to actually see the sales through. That's a little bit different than selling Games Pass. If Microsoft were to approach Nintendo on that, you could share that money. Remote play is essentially just a function. So that's harder to convince Nintendo of. So you have to have Sony approach them. Nintendo has to give permission, and then the question becomes, why does Nintendo give permission in that scenario?
Well, I think that's why the survey is a little bit ambiguous, because when I hear half of the things that they want to do with remote play, half of me thinks that if and when the PlayStation 5 is revealed or somewhere down the road, remote play in PlayStation Now is going to look very much different, retooled, and remarketed.
Absolutely.
That's why I really think that it's vague on purpose.
Right.
I really do think this is more PS now than
I
anything.
agree. You stealing my. That's what I was
Right.
saying. Like, to me, this is like almost like King would call it the Trojan horse, so to speak.
Yeah,
like, this
absolutely.
is we're not going
Microsoft's
to.
doing with xCloud and Game Pass.
Yeah, we're not going to tell you what our ultimate intention is, but let's put some tea leaves again. Speculation, y'all. Grain of salt. No one. I have no information. No inside information.
Right.
Let's tea leaf. We know that they are working with Microsoft with the Azure cloud, right?
Yep.
That is going to be their backbone moving forward. They have that agreement, right? We know PlayStation now has become more sleeker, more competitive from a price standpoint. They've now put some exclusives on there, right? So who's to say? Sony may say, look, if we repackage PlayStation Now, include remote play in the PlayStation Now package, similar to the way xCloud is doing with Game Pass Ultimate, and so forth, and then say, hey, this is a package, our games with this service on your platform. And again, we know Ryan seems to be very in the idea of putting his games other places. I mean, we've seen the PC stuff happen. I wouldn't be surprised if something like that would be.
I will purchase PlayStation Now yesterday.
No, I
literally, if they change the philosophy to a more palatable beverage for myself,
right,
I will definitely drink said beverage with no problems at all. I will be drinking the Kool-Aid.
Right.
You know what I'm waiting for my Switch to do, right? The Game Pass.
No, I feel
Then
you.
I'm loose. Then I'm loose.
But
Then
I
I'm
wanna-
loose.
I wanna-
And I will be in the streets with my Switch, running down the streets playing Game Pass. This is what I'm waiting
to
for.
bring it back to stealth though, so he can give us into reality now. If they represent that in that package though, do you think Nintendo would at least have their ear open? Maybe we could work with Sony, even though the relationship with Microsoft.
Yeah, if it benefited them, yes. Would Nintendo reciprocate and do something for Sony? Never.
Is that bad? We still burn from the PlayStation, Nintendo days.
It's not even that. It's just like they're both like, Nintendo's number one in Japan. Sony's trying to be number one.
I think that is the key reason too, because that low key upsets Sony. They probably never came out openly and say that, but that's their native competition.
Wait, I gotta bring it back to stuff. So then, why would they be more willing to work with Microsoft than PlayStation? I gotta know this. Why do you think?
Because they're beating Microsoft.
Yeah, I think Nintendo sees Microsoft as less of a direct threat.
Right.
They're a lot of the genres of game are different, and but and Microsoft isn't selling. The consoles aren't selling that hot anywhere.
Right.
But honestly, the key is Minecraft. Before Microsoft bought Minecraft, Minecraft was doing crazy numbers on Nintendo platforms, and then once Microsoft bought Minecraft, what are they going to do
at that point?
Yeah, are they going to take it off? It's dumb.
Sorry.
No,
and so that opened the door to maybe if we put this on Nintendo, that opened the door. It started the conversation.
Opened the door
anyway.
wide. I mean, they even have Xbox Live on Nintendo Switch with that functionality, achievements and everything.
Hey, Badbit.
Yeah.
Is that a TIE fighter you got flying in back?
Oh yeah. It's just a little like party thing. Yeah.
But I love it.
Okay, yeah. It's falling apart.
You made me expand my screen to see your TIE fighter. I said, man, is that a TIE fighter he got in the background?
Thank you,
I'm
guys.
loving him.
Thank you for sharing. back on topic.
Yes. Sorry.
Yes. I mean that's all I was saying. Stuff. I was just surprised by that. But
if I could expand on that thought for just a second as well,
please.
When it comes to Nintendo and Sony's relationship, it is a lot more tension. When you see Nintendo, if you're looking at if I ran Nintendo,
shout out to Guru. Let's go.
I'm looking at Xbox as like, hey, listen, Xbox sells dozens of consoles in this country. They're not a threat to us. If we put their platform on our device, we can only profit. We'll get HoegLaw in there to set up some type of deal, some type of profit sharing where both parties can be comfortable with. Where Sony
that's what we do.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
www.hoeglaw.com.
Woo! Let's go. 7K subscribers, YouTube. Let's go.
Where Sony is now, that it technically is an American company at this point, that's where the headquarters is. They are still, their history is in Japan.
Right.
It is still back in the 90s with that tense relationship with Nintendo. That is a way less likely thing to see. But at the end of the day, businesses are businesses. They don't work off of emotions. They work off of buku cash. And that's what's going to probably motivate everybody at the end of the day. Or will.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Anyone want to jump in before we move on?
I think we got 2 super chats for.
Okay, yes, please get the super chats, Attic, and then we move on.
Did we get the super chat from Victor?
No.
According to Joffrey, there. I think that's what's his name that made God of War or whatnot.
Yeah.
There has been a huge restructure in Sony PlayStation. Most of the former are gone. Also, the new CEO said to be more. Nadella, like, yeah.
All right, and then our boy fan Johan Zell with the slander today with Nintendo, because Nintendo is the Lin Q and Sony is the Shirai Ryu with the Mortal Kombat references, competing and hating clans. Xbox is just in the middle eating pop.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest familiar with Mortal Kombat. Isn't that like Scorpion and
yes. So let's go. Listen, man, I'll wrap and move on.
You got to make things simple for me, Phantom, so I know what's going on.
Listen, man, it is
next time say Scorpion or Sub-Zero. Don't make me think.
This news was different to me, I must admit, King. I was definitely surprised to see, even just a reference by Sony, in a survey base. So it definitely seems like they're getting the water, dipping the toe, like Hoeg would say, just to see what the feedback from the base would be. Me personally, I love remote play. I love using my Vita remote play. So I think the Switch would be a perfect. Like I already told you, as far as form factor, how I feel about that, and it just comes down to what Stealth said. Would Nintendo allow it? Stealth ain't giving me a lot of confidence.
Because I do surveys like this for a living for these companies.
Let's go.
And a lot of times they'll put questions. They'll put together questions just because they're just curious. And there's no real super they really wanted it, but they're just curious.
But an opposing platform, Stealth?
Yeah.
That's different from Sony.
Yeah, I know. It's true. It would be different if it actually happened. And right now we're talking about a survey.
Absolutely.
There's a big gulf between them putting out a survey and them actually doing it. When they do it, then I'm gonna be shocked.
Absolutely.
But right now they just want to know what
they just
think.
Flirting slow bit.
Yeah, they're flirting, exactly. They're flirting.
just seeing if anybody would gauge a little. Yeah. You put the swipe on Nintendo, you just swipe it. They just swipe it over, yes.
Oh God.
I gotta start some trouble. You gotta have fun.
Wow, you did not just do that.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, listen. One thing about Tinder, it's anonymous. No one has to know if they like you, and they just swipe and say they like you.
Their whole reason for swiping is to say they like you.
They saw that Nintendo Switch and they swiped yes.
Oh God! Today he has been in rare.
This is my greatest show. I love that Hoeg and Stealth are here and Badbit. Oh, this is great. Oh, this is good. Oh, I've been solved though. I've been solved, but I
don't know, man. He was being suspect with that Switch earlier. So
yeah, it's like when Atlas Japan, does their surveys. What systems would you like their games to be on in the future, and they'll have all the systems. But they have no intention of putting any of their games on Xbox. They never have. Yep. So it's like, but they put it on there just to see.
Look, it's okay, Sony. You swipe right.
At the end of the day, when it comes to that, it's always nice to have as much information as possible, regardless if you're going to use it or not. They know.
Exactly.
No.
Fair enough. Let's move on. Last thing we'll fly through because we are running a little bit. Mr. Attic, man. Jedi Fallen Order, has it changed the game for EA?
So what I want to talk about, just make this a quick response, because obviously we talked like an hour and a half, almost the entire podcast about the Switch.
Oh my God.
I first off, I want to say, LordCognito, in no way, shape, or form are you'd bring the Switch into this conversation. But with the massive success that the game Star Wars Fallen Order was, apparently it's like on the high up of what their expectation was. Like they never thought it would sell like this, and what the promotion of Vince or Vance, I don't know exactly.
Vince Zampella, the guard. Lord Vince Zampella.
Lord Vince, but whatever. I ain't even trying to say his last name. But,
you put respect on that name. Continue.
But so what I want to ask the round, what I want to bring to the Lords is, do you think that with how well the game did, how well Apex did, how well Titanfall did for them, maybe not necessarily sales wise, but being more of a diverse and the fact that they bought their company, do you think that Respawn is changing the whole philosophy of how EA does business?
Let's get Hoeg in there.
No.
Simple as that.
No. So there's a couple things going on here for me.
Let's go.
And so we'll see if I can make enemies of the rest of the panel on this answer.
Let's go.
So I like Titanfall just fine. Titanfall 2. I played a couple games of Apex. Jedi Fallen Order, in my opinion, just an opinion,
careful,
is a success primarily because of the wasteland of single-player Star Wars activities that has been afforded to fans of that brand for a long time.
Tell them about it, Hoeg. Tell them.
And so I like Jedi Fallen Order. I especially like the ambition and what they were trying to achieve. In that particular game,
I think this man said trying.
I think that their reach vastly exceeded their grasp on this. I think the technical faults are significant. I don't necessarily think the level design is quite there. I certainly think the combat is wanting, especially when compared to something like Sekiro or something else that you might play from last year. That being said, it's got lightsaber sounds, it's got laser bolt blasts, and you say the word Jedi a bunch. So people do like it. I think it is a good move. I look forward to it having a leap in the future for Jedi Fallen Order 2, like maybe an Assassin's Creed 2. But for right now, EA is not about to change its gas focus just because there was a moderate amount of success for what is the biggest intellectual property brand in the world, or was before Kathleen Kennedy got done with it.
Hold on, I got to fight with Hoeg. I don't like this.
Hold up. We're not.
I have opinions.
We're not. But here's the thing. We're not just talking about a one title. We're not just talking about two. We're talking about everything they have made has more or less turned to gold for this company.
Not Titanfall. Titanfall didn't.
Titanfall 1 sold well. It was
Titanfall 1 wasn't EA.
It wasn't EA. What Titanfall 1 wasn't EA. But listen. Let's.
They published it, didn't they?
Hoeg, let's spar a little bit here. Okay.
Sure, absolutely. That's what I'm here for.
That's
man, you're in trouble.
That's why I like it. Here's the thing. I hear where you're going at that, right? My question to you is that let's look at EA's philosophy prior. Yo, Badbit, you got to stop doing what you do. You're making me laugh. So look, their philosophy probably seemed to be very multiplayer heavy, very microtransaction heavy. They actually, I believe one of the last, I don't know, it was an earnings call, kind of said, they weren't going towards the traditional single player experience, right? And we do know, thanks to Jason Schreier and the whole thing with Anthem, that they were pushing Frostbite on a lot of development, right? Because they want to
use all of the development,
right? They want to use their own in-house engine, not pay any royalty fees, and this was and we've seen the Anthem team, the BioWare, kind of struggle under that engine, right? So my question to you, in reference now, we bring it back to Vince and Respawn. You have an Apex Legends, which is a free kind of come out of nowhere game that is a success, right? When Anthem flopped for them, then you have Jedi Fallen Order, which is really unconventional for EA in terms of single player, no microtransactions, and using Unreal, which is something that seems
that no company has done.
That seems to be exclusive to Respawn under this banner. Now you can make the argument, yes, prior to Respawn being acquired by EA, they were doing their own thing and they were separate on the outside. They don't have to capitulate to Frostbite. But we have to say that what they're doing is kind of beating to their own drum and against what the corporate philosophy of EA was prior. And now, as a result, it appears, right, that that Vince is being rewarded by now being given the head of DICE, right?
Yeah,
and stay almost like, I'm not going to say they're completely capitulated, going to change their whole thing, but to me it seems like they're looking at what is successful. And I mean, they only projected, that I believe a Fallen Order to not even sell what they said, and they didn't.
I think it was like
6 to 8.
Yeah, 6 to 8, and then they hit 10. You know what I'm saying? So in that regard,
10 by March.
By March, right? So in that, do you not think that maybe his cachet is at least rising in over the EA?
So I think that's a separate question from whether it should be. So I mean, it's one of those things where businesses can only react to the data and analytics that they have in front of them. And I think you've put out a nice sequence of events for what his agent and his lawyer should be saying.
Listen, I wanted to spar. I wanted to dream of sparring with you one time.
No, right? And there's a heads and there's a tails on all this stuff. And I would say, look, Star Wars fans were desperate. They had The Last Jedi around for 2 years.
It's true.
And Last Jedi, Fallen Order, and Mandalorian, thank God, aren't The Last Jedi, and everybody was just happy that they weren't. And they went and they bought these products. And like I said, I actually do appreciate the ambition of Jedi Fallen Order. I'm glad that it isn't just something that has been done before.
Right.
I don't think they did it very well, but I think that this was the first attempt at what was a new kind of product for the Respawn team. In fact, I think the Jedi Fallen Order team is entirely brought in new.
Hold on.
No, let him rock. Let him rock.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna say.
Let him finish. I know, Attic. I feel let the man finish.
Well, hey, no, and that's really about it. I mean, in terms of, I think I've described it. I've described it on my own videos, and Two Hoags Are Better Than One, and elsewhere as the most 7 of 10 game of all time.
Oh my!
Like,
okay, all right.
Get it, Badbit, please.
All right. First off, rhetorical question.
Hoeg is running loose.
Secondly, okay, Star Wars is an amazing property. Kathleen Kennedy, you take all the movies they've made, even the Sour Grapes, they're still better than the prequels. That's just a fact.
I won't accept that.
Hoeg is running.
That's subjective. That's subjective.
In all honesty, I think Vince's influence has grown within the company. I think he's one of the board members. He has the say to say, hey, I don't want my games running in Frostbite.
Well, I think just the fact that he didn't use Frostbite. Like, you have companies that's made them billions throughout the years, like Madden, and they're all using the Frostbite. Like,
exactly. And that
like, this man literally walked into a multi-billion-dollar corporation, like, yo, I'm using Unreal. I'm not using your whack ass engine.
So, but the confounding issue there is the third party, right? We don't know what involvement Lucasfilm / Disney had on that. They are very hands-on with every use of their property, including.
But bad.
Now they don't usually jump in and say yes, Frostbite, yes, Unreal.
Right.
But the story that came out of Kotaku,
but
would have been during the early days of development.
It's not just that, the fact that there was no microtransactions in this game, when every single game EA's ever published for like as long as I can remember has had microtransactions.
Let me hear Badbit's
Okay, but again, we're talking about confluence of events, right? You're putting that on Zempella, but we also know that they got absolutely bitch slapped by Need for Speed and Battlefront 2. And they were always going to walk that back in the next coming years. Right. And so you've got Zempella, yes, making this game at the same time, but you've got a very bad article about Frostbite killing their development in a major periodical. You've got them getting killed by microtransactions, not just in Kotaku, but on their investor calls. And what is happening with your company and things along those lines. You've got Lucasfilm and Disney paying very specific attention to what happened to their brand goodwill with Battlefront 2. And that all leads into Jedi Fallen Order. I'm not saying any of that had any specific indication on one thing or the other in its development, but I am saying it's impossible to point at one thing or the other from us sitting out here and say Vince Zampella was responsible for how that game turned out.
No, I understand. Let
me get that super chat.
Get that super chat.
Of course you want to get that super chat.
Gamer by choice with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much, sir. Great show. I have to say, Fallen Order was a good, but I would rather see Force Unleashed 3. Starkiller is a better character to me. And you know what? And you saying that and me reading this, and I'm reading it because I felt the same way. I always loved Starkiller. I thought Starkiller was probably one of the most underutilized characters inside the Star Wars universe. But then when I started reading the books,
is Starkiller even like lore? Like, he's canon.
Well, he is because he's Darth Vader's apprentice.
No, I don't think
that was before Disney, and he's not in it.
But Palpatine said to Darth Vader that he thought that Starkiller would be could rival Palpatine as far as Darth Sidious as far as power, but not intellect. But anyway, I digress. I love the super chat. I just wanted to
I
yes, I really want.
I enjoyed Star Wars.
We gotta let
Badbit.
Yeah, we gotta let Badbit.
Badbit, you were onto something, and I really wanted you to finish your point because I wanted to like jump in on your point, and I saw where you was going.
So for to go off a little bit what Hoeg has said, yeah, like Disney's looking under their IP with a microscope, especially since things like The Last Jedi, things like Solo, things like Battlefront 2, and then with the combination of the Respawn acquisition, Respawn goes to the beat of their own drum, and you're seeing that pay off, and you are seeing Vince Zampella have a bigger say at EA. Now, does that mean no microtransactions whatsoever? No, you see Respawn games have them in truckloads like Apex Legends, but it's more about, to me, Vince trying to diversify the portfolio of some of the EA properties at play right now. I think the success that we've seen from Respawn over this last year, and just as a company, they never made a bad game, and I stand by that.
I agree. I'm with you on that.
Seeing that, if I'm a chairperson at EA, I'm looking at that going, okay, give this guy the reins of some things. He honestly knows what he's doing. And Hoeg, I think you're right too. They've been beaten and battered throughout this whole entire generation, PR wise, that they needed a win, and this is the closest thing they have to it, and it's great. And it does show that to EA and to everyone around EA that this is what consumers want from their company, a game that is fair, right? They want a game like Apex Legends that's fair, and they're getting it right, and they got it right a bit with Apex, listening to their community over the last year of what they expect from season passes or from microtransactions. You see Respawn adjust accordingly, and you're seeing Respawn going, hey, now we're just going to give you a single player focused game.
Right.
I think EA is taking notice of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to shout out Stealth40k, my brother. He had to run. He wanted to say he didn't want to be rude, so he messaged me directly. So salute Stealth40k. Thank you, brother. We really appreciate you taking the realm. That was love. Continue, King. I know you want to jump in on that.
Yeah. Okay. So my thoughts of it
after this.
No. My thoughts on it is Hoeg is absolutely correct in his assessment. I think it's a perfect storm.
You got to shut all these people's mics off.
Let me finish. Let me finish so you can understand what I'm talking about. I think it's a perfect storm when it comes to Jedi Fallen Order because one, you have the new Star Wars movie that released in December, right? So the sales carried through. Then you also had The Mandalorian, and you had other Star Wars centric stuff that was being pushed. So Disney, that Disney brand pushes, because I saw a different advertisement for Jedi Fallen Order all over the place. And you got to understand, if I'm a Game Pass dude, and I haven't been purchasing games, to be honest with you, I've purchased Resident Evil or a game here and there, and I haven't been really going in my wallet. But for me to fiend for a game, that means that one, the marketing hit, two, the thirst level is there, and the fact that we haven't had a single player Star Wars game in a long time. And yes, I would be wanting Force Unleashed 3, but I settled for this game. I saw this game last year.
Settled. I hate you guys.
This is a fact. This is what we have. You don't have a diversified portfolio when it comes to how many games is being released within a year that you have a choice. You don't have a choice. So if you love Star Wars and you want to play, you're gonna get down, you're gonna play it, you're gonna try it, right? So of course they capitalize on that part of me. But being at EA last year at E3 and getting a chance to see that game behind closed doors, I knew that game was special from the moment it started.
Yeah, we saw that behind the scenes early. We knew it was something different.
And
I missed that because we had to leave early.
Yeah, but it lived up to that expectation of it. Now, is Hoeg right that it's a 7? Yes, it's a 7 for Hoeg.
Yeah, I get that.
But
yeah, absolutely. I'm not claiming any authority over any.
But edict. But me, being that my thirst level from The Mandalorian, you already know that I'm down with the Baby Yoda syndrome. All right, you already know. And you saw me look at Badbit's TIE fighter in the background. This is the reason why I wanted to go to Badbit, because I understand that he feels the same way that I kind of feel when it comes to the Force. it's going to get an 8 to 9 from me. And now I know there's little aspect of
I agree with you there. Just the Star Wars world in general get you a couple points.
Right.
Yeah, and when this game came out, accompanied with The Mandalorian, it was like the best week of being a Star Wars fan.
Right. Thank you.
Because it was just what we want from the Star Wars.
I think Mandalorian was average.
Right? Oh, you know out of your mind. There we gotta be. There you gotta go straight to the butcher. Everybody put these butchers up in this chat, and I think this was we're gonna end the show off at because this guy has lost his mind. He's definitely off his man.
So let me get this straight. Hoeg can say that that's a 7 out of 10 game, and it's his opinion. But I can't say a movie, a TV show's average, and I get the bushes.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead. You know what? People in that chat, put the bushes in for me, man, because you know. I don't care. I'll be in that bushes. The only good thing about that show was Baby Yoda. Nothing else.
Oh man, you gotta go away.
Addict lost his mind.
All right, he's trying to get a lot of hate mail. And I'm just not gonna allow it today.
I feel it. I just want to let Hoeg finish up, and then the last question I have for Hoeg. We know how you feel about the rating, your rating of Fallen Order, but again,
hashtag keep Attic in the bush.
Hashtag keep Attic. Yeah, they're going in. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to get back to like I guess Vince and in general as far I guess with EA. Do you see anything now changing? Do you think it still will be status quo moving forward with their philosophy? Or you just think, hey, that's a blip that's really not going to affect what EA is doing, long term?
Well, I have to be honest with you. I don't have a great deal of faith in Electronic Arts having their finger on the pulse and figuring out what direction they should move on any given topic in any given year. So I think that they will continue
to have... This is. This is EA hate. This
ain't the man finish.
It isn't hate. I'll play what's good that they release, but it's been, few and forthcoming. I would say this.
He ain't wrong, though. That's the funny part. He ain't
that
wrong.
They accidentally stumble into successes in various times. I mean, Mirror's Edge and Dead Space and those kinds of things for a little while were pretty good.
And then they ruined Dead Space.
Oh, pretty good Dead Space.
The EA disrespect, he going in. I love it, man.
I bought a lot of Electronic Arts games. I've enjoyed them in the
I feel like you've lost some court hearings with EA or something.
Oh my God.
It's not true. It's I buy what is good and looks appealing to me, and Electronic Arts has not been on that list as often as I would personally like for.
No, I'm joking with you, but I do agree with you on that.
Yeah, so I look at it and say, okay, so Vince is now going to run Respawn and DICE. First of all, that's a different role than he's had in the past. That's a management role of two different companies having to put your shoes in two different places. I'm not even sure if DICE is still headquartered somewhere in like
DICE
Sweden,
other
right?
studio, I believe.
Yeah, Sweden, yeah.
Okay, so this is DICE North America?
Yeah, LA. It's a support studio, but they're creating something.
They even talk about renaming it. I believe he's going to rename it. Continue.
Oh, all right. So, but it's a different role, and so you always run the risk of elevating someone to a role that's new, and hopefully they succeed. And I do think the more Jedi Fallen Orders exist at EA, the better things are. Yes. Okay, so it's a 7 out of 10 for me right now, just like Assassin's Creed 1 was a 7 out of 10. I see some good stuff in there. Yeah. I hope that they can iterate on that and polish it up for me.
Okay. Yeah, because Assassin's Creed 1 was a decent game, and 2 was probably the best one they made.
No, fair enough.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's how I feel about those kinds of things. Is EA going to change philosophically ultimately? No. They've been chastened by what Battlefront 2 did because they went too hard too fast, and they will kind of figure out how to slow roll it a little bit better. That's going to be their job. That's what they're trying to figure out. But at the end of the day, I'm happy Jedi Fallen Order exists. I wish I liked it more personally. I love Star Wars. I'm very glad that the other people on this panel love it as much as they do. I think that's great. I want people to love things. I want to love everything I buy. All that hard-earned cash on that we talked about.
That Alien Isolation.
I knew that was coming.
Because you out here loving that Alien Isolation, but you out here.
I actually like the Alien Isolation.
Throwing the book at my Jedi Fallen Order, but we gonna go into playing the Vaseline version.
But we can't forget he White Knight and Death Stranding.
listen, he loves what he loves.
I love having Hoeg on.
Never coming on this show again, Cognito.
Oh man, we love you, brother. I want to shout out to a good brother in the chat. It's the first time seeing him. Sean Capri, salute yourself. I love I salute, brother, man. We got to get you on in the realm. Unfortunately, Guru wasn't here. We wanted to tease him. Hopefully, he's doing better. You know what I'm saying? But Hoeg, we respect you.
The effects of the drugs are wearing off, Guru. As the show is over,
listen,
you are able to function now.
I had an evil plan to set up King and Addict, and unfortunately, my plan A didn't work, but my plan B came through strong. So we're gonna wrap this up, man, because we got to get out of here, man. I got to get to a Super Bowl. So anyway. Go. Oh no! Just said when you're down, bro. I will check your DMs. We will set something up, Sean Capri. Much love what you're doing out there. So let's get this poll going. New ILP poll: with the Nintendo Switch having surpassed or coming close to passing the Xbox One in console sales, do you think the Switch will continue its momentum once the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 arrives? The choices are A, yes, nothing is stopping the Switch train. It's on its own lane and will continue its success with quality exclusives. King shakes his head in disgust. Choice B, no. Without a Switch Pro, Switch will slow down and eventually be less relevant when next gen arrives. Or C, I don't care because Game Pass and Remote Play are coming to the Switch anyway.
I'm about that life right there. That's the one I'm on right there. Let's get that.
Shout out to all the Lords. Please rock the vote when it goes up on Twitter. Lord HoegLaw, Lord Badbit Games, Lord Stealth40k, and in honor of Lord Nintendo Guru, please heal up. So let's start with Lord Hoeg. Where can people find you? What do you have going on, sir?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as you said in your intro, Virtual Legality now has more than 7,000 subscribers, so we're very happy about that on the YouTube channel. We talk about business and law, often with respect to video games, often with respect to pop culture, diving into things like, did Blizzard breach any of its contracts when they released Warcraft Reforged, and things like that, which we hopefully have an enlightening conversation on, and hopefully one that is helpful to those folks that are just yelling into the void on the internet. So if you're interested in those kinds of questions, yeah.
The thing I like about your show is for dumb folks like me that don't know law whatsoever, you make it a lot easier to follow along.
Yes.
Well, I very much appreciate that. That's the goal, is to hopefully have a conversation about it in plain English. I sometimes do better than other times, but those are the conversations we're having on the YouTube channel, which is at youtube.com/HoegLaw. And then I'm also on Twitter all the time. This is where we first talked about Mass Effect 2, LordCognito and I on Twitter. So if you're interested in having those conversations, you want to get some impeachment hot takes to go with your various references to Star Control or Star Control 2, that's where you can find me at HoegLaw on Twitter. And thank you very much for having me on the show.
Absolute pleasure.
My man, Hoeg.
So good to have Hoeg in the realm. It's always a pleasure. The takes are spicy. It's always informative, always analytical. And again, I cannot salute you enough on your growth. It is really, really cool to see people gravitating towards your content. And I just like that I was there from day one. So when you get Hollywood, just don't forget me.
I'm bringing you with, sir.
Oh, my man.
Just give me my intros.
Absolutely. We got to do the intro. And I got to shout out to Hoeg, the second Hoeg. I got to speak to him too, man. I would love to question him in the realm if he's ever available.
That's right. Yeah, my brother is a developer at High Moon, and we regularly do a show called Two Hoegs Are Better Than One, and he worked on Ratchet and Clank: A Crack in Time when he was at Insomniac. He worked on Destiny when Bungie was still affiliated with Activision. So he's done a lot of stuff.
I have questions. I would love to get hopefully both Hoegs or the other Hoeg, whatever works schedule-wise.
Okay.
We'll do that thing, man. I definitely want to question. I have a lot of questions, especially resource management as far, especially Bungie. I have tons of questions there. So
he will be able to answer precisely half.
Yes. I know you will protect him on what he cannot answer. So salute to him. Of course, Lord Badbit with the call in the 11th hour, saving the day for LordCognito, giving me ammo to attack Addict and King. I love it. Where can the five people find you? What you got going on, sir?
Well, first, let's just give a big shout out to my YouTube dad, the Nintendo Guru himself. All right, everybody go to his channel.
Yes.
He's sick with the flu. Give him so much love out there. He works so hard to do the things he does. I brought my 49ers shirt for him. He's a Niner fan. I was ready, exactly.
Man. His intro was going to be crazy. I couldn't wait for him. Oh.
I know. Rest in peace, Guru, just in advance.
Oh, my gosh. Jesus.
Listen, don't worry. Listen, I love him, but he doesn't have
dad, don't you?
Let's be real. Let's be real with each other. All right, Cup of Joe and Nintendo. I may hate the name, but that's his podcast. Go check it out.
Sean Capri. That's what. Yeah.
You can find me, Badbit Games, over at youtube.com/Badbit Games. We talk about all news and reviews. And we also have a podcast called The Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players.
Who's that
each and every Thursday.
Who's that host you got?
On iTunes, on Google Play, on Spotify, all with my co-host, my best friend Kyle. Again, we talk about the latest and greatest in PlayStation. We love all the games, and that's why we want to talk about it. So there you go.
Yo, Sean Capri said he's looking for a new co-host soon. Rest in peace. Yo,
wow,
we are not plotting the demise of Bobby.
You know,
got out of control.
No doubt. Salute to have you. Good to have you back. But we will see you at PAX East, sir.
Of
you know
course,
what I'm saying?
man,
Doing a little media tour, that would be fun, man. It's going to be great to see you in Boston, sir. And, of course, you already know the regular lords of the round table. Lord Addict out here, very combative today, abusing Hoeg, not letting him finish, attacking his thoughts. What do you have?
It's all good. It's the same as my day job.
Where can the fine people find you, and what did you have going on, sir?
Well, before where you can find me, this is Hoeg's Twitter.
Yes.
So definitely go follow him.
Put his YouTube up there too, and Badbit as well.
Yeah.
I'm putting all of them in the chat.
This
is.
I'll read that super chat, Cog.
I can't see that. It's not in red. Today I only see red. You can read that.
Wow.
Great show, guys. $2 super chat, Johanzel. Go Chiefs.
No, I thought you was gonna skip
it. Wild. Yo, listen.
Okay,
great
hold on.
show, guys.
So this
go
is,
Chiefs.
This is Badbit. Definitely go follow him. He's a great content creator. And here's Stealth40k. Definitely go follow him.
Yes.
For all your Nintendo. I'm not even joking. You follow Stealth40k. You won't need any more Nintendo news. He's got you covered.
Yes, and all your market data research. Yes. Continue. Okay, he's in the bush. King, where can the five people find you? What you got going on, sir? Enduring all the Switch slander.
I would love to thank all our illustrious guests that showed up to the realm today. Hoeg is always welcome here. I love his law talk. I love everything about Hoeg. Hoeg is, if I'm ever in trouble, Hoeg, I need you.
I'll find you a litigator.
Badbit, you have sealed it with me with that TIE fighter flying in the side. I literally clicked on your picture. I said, is that a TIE fighter wing?
First order, man. They're the coolest looking.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful. And also, shout out to Stealth40k. I know he couldn't stay all the way through, but thank you so much, brother, for coming through. And as we always do, turn the beat around. Let's see.
That bottom is hot.
Sorry, you've just been struck.
Oh, you can't copyright. Come on, Hoeg.
And that's a my bad rendition.
Interpolation.
But listen, you can follow me on Twitter, where Jay Barry is going at me constantly, and I gotta beat him back with a stick. And also, you can catch us at lordsofgaming.net. We have a ton of opinion pieces. We have all types of great reviews up right now, and Attic is out here doing it up. And also, you can catch KOS. You see all these little statues all over the place. I'm finishing this display case over here. I got another display case in the back where Venom is about to go in. I was about to say Spawn. 40 and Slip. I got something coming for you guys. Also, a couple of new statues that just came in. The boxes is back there. Got some more coming in, and we are awaiting the arrival of my new child, Baby Yoda. So, which won't be here until September, but it'll be a long way.
You mean the only good thing about The Mandalorian? Okay, continue.
Well, I mean, hey, some people like The Witcher. There we go.
No,
and there we go. And there you go. But, yo, listen, guys. We
better show. Go watch Power. There you go.
This is true. We appreciate everybody, the 200 that was inside the live viewing. We appreciate all the likes. We appreciate even the thumbs down for you individuals that did not like Switch Talk today or didn't like the Sony slander that I give you on a daily basis.
Yeah, I do want to thank the chat. We had to think 190 at one time. You guys keep coming here every week. You keep coming stronger and stronger every week, and we really do appreciate it.
Pause. Addict meant to say pause.
Continue.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Anyway, look, everybody, the show was fantastic. Again, thanks everyone that came through. Lord Hoeg, again, Lord Badbit, Stealth40k, and of course Nintendo Guru. He will be back.
And their Twitters are in the chat.
Twitters are in the chat, please. Again, thank everyone for supporting lordsofgaming.net, man. We're doing really good. We're seeing a lot of tremendous growth. You guys retweeting the articles. It has been fantastic. Everybody enjoy your Sunday. I got a Super Bowl party to get to, and if win or lose, I may not be accessible based on beverages. But on that note, listen, everybody enjoy your Sunday. We will be back next week in the realm. Peace.